we're back, and I hear no static.
I'm clean.
Wow, that's fucking debatable. All right.
Okay.
Let me use different
it's your story. Make it sound good.
Yeah.
No love. No love.
Just a shit show. Just how.
Hey,
Hey, no rules.
I might have to borrow that.
Hey.
On the mic.
All right, we got it.
Now you're up.
Oh shit! It did that on me. Didn't it? Now it's gonna come back. There we are. All right, now we're good.
All right.
Fire in the hole.
There we go.
Yeah,
Look, man,
last week 230 mid 200s for the national was
yeah, that's solid.
was a good deal.
Yeah.
A lot of good racing. We had
open. Very good venue, man. The food was on point, man.
That's what I keep hearing.
The food concessions and bathrooms. I mean, they had hot water, man, to be able to wash your hands. Like I'm talking, that's
as good as Dirty Fest.
That's pretty damn good, man. I was
Burning
like
Man.
pretty freaking impressed. You go to a venue like that, man.
It just did it again.
People are gonna come back.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know.
I think they're up to this was the third year, so I think they're up to re-sign it again. I think for next year, too. From what I was hearing, I'm not for sure
I
on
think
that one, but
this is the third time around.
yeah, and I think it was a 3-year deal, and I think they're up for grabs to re-sign again after last weekend. So
I don't know why they wouldn't. Why the USA BMX wouldn't.
and it's pretty fairly easy to get there. Honestly, I mean, on and off the freeway, you're
Especially
right
through
there.
the fires and everything.
You're right there in the middle of town. Covina right there has a handful of hotels, motels, and food. You don't really have to go far. I mean, and that's something that I look for when I go to a national. I don't want to be traveling. Like when you go to Black Mountain, you got to go another 30, 40 goddamn minutes just to get back into town. And it's 11 o'clock at night. And you got to shower and eat still before you get
Everyone's closed.
6 to get to the track at 7. The next day. It plays a big role.
The track we talked to that we called into the show last year that had everything right there: the airport, the food, the hotel.
North Dakota.
North Dakota, yeah.
Danny Weigel's track.
Dude, that was legit.
Yeah.
You don't even need a car. It was awesome.
Yeah, it's only 10 minutes from me.
Oh, the Expo Center is?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Dwayne Taylor rode his mountain bike to the house, just like a warm up in the morning. Like, hey, dude, I'm coming over. He's like, I want to break in my knee back.
Sick. That's freaking rad, man.
So let's ask this.
That's hella cool.
What about the moguls that everyone was talking about?
Moguls. As long as you found the right line, they weren't too bad. The middle was detrimental. Those were a game changer. They were a little bit bigger, a little more squares, like bunny hopping a curb. But if you went to the outside or inside and kind of let it drift to the white line, in or out, you were pretty good.
Isn't that cheating?
Unless you were like some of the guys that would hit the first mogul in the middle and you could jump it and land on top of the step up, because some of them were able to get that kind of speed and do it if they were out in front,
Oh, yeah.
and that made a big difference too. Then they would just put like another 2 bikes on you.
A Michigan track did that about 20 years ago.
Watch.
What were you saying, Tim?
Sorry, a Michigan track did that 20 years ago.
Did what, moguls?
Really?
Challenge Indoor had an outdoor track for 2 years, about a year and a half, whatever it was. And they had, the third straight was a little bit of moguls in there. Yes, they were.
There was moguls. Like, what was that national?
Wow.
Yes.
That's crazy.
Okay.
It didn't go over very well, but yes, they had them.
Oh, we've had a couple of nationals in the past that have had them. There's not very many. And I don't know the moguls are the answer, but anything different at this point is a bonus.
Yeah, and what did you guys feel? What did you guys feel about the kind of a little bit of the backlash, like people talking about that when like everyone's asking for more and more difference with the track? Like how what'd you guys think about that?
They keep asking. I mean, you throw something out there, then everybody's bitching. I mean, you can't keep everybody happy. It's never going to happen. Everybody has their own personality, their own point of views, but
yeah, because you've seen it. Like I think the Wednesday or the Thursday when they posted it, people were freaking out.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's the first time. It's no different than when they put the Z rollers in. You know, I mean, it's the same shit, but
yeah, we had Z rollers in Reno, we had Z rollers in Oregon. You know, shit, I think they even had the Z rollers a couple grands ago, like 2 or 3 grands ago. They had the Z roller through the rhythm section. You know, it's not that bad. I mean, it's fair play. You know, it's better going to a ready-made track that, you know, the home field advantage. There was no home field advantage here.
No,
nope,
no, they're not, which is nice.
Yeah, it was clean and cut, man. You know, it was the first one with doing the transponders and doing the 3 rounds and getting gate selection on how you finished and your time going into your semi.
Oh, sorry,
which
your
was pretty cool,
battery wore out.
You know, and it offered a lot. I mean, people were, like you said, you know, people are going to moan and bitch. It took a little bit more time, you know, but I mean, hey, dude, you're racing your ass off to get gate selection. I mean, you're throwing a candy out there.
Right.
Hey, dude, you know, for everybody, it's like, hey, dude, I want gate selection. You're going to race those first 2 rounds harder than you usually would.
Right.
Well, you know, help train us better for UCI riders. You know what I mean? They're putting in 3 hard laps, and we wonder why we get our asses to us because we have the focuses. So I think that's fantastic, that call. I was very surprised.
How did it work, Rick? You were there, and how did it work with the gate choices? Like, was that, or did they not do?
Gate choices went into quarters and semis, and then for main.
It run pretty smooth though with the classes that had gate picks.
Yeah, that was the expert classes, as far as I know. I think maybe I don't think the other classes did. They might have. I'm not sure, but I just know, you know, with expert, with myself and my son running in there and a handful of others, they might have. I'm not selection, but I just know. I even had to get a transponder because it's mandatory now for all expert classes.
Yeah,
you know, and stuff. But it worked out. It was cool. It was different, man. You know, so hey, I didn't have a problem with it. You know, the one big thing, and it really didn't sound too much like people had a problem with the gate selection and everything. It was the total points rounds that had like exactly 8 riders, you know, or less, and you had to do first round, second round, and then the main. And if the running positions did get scrambled up, you didn't know at the finish line. You didn't know until you went and got in line for your trophy. Wow. That line was fucking long, dude. That was like a Black Friday sale, dude. Holy shit.
Wow, I didn't think about that.
So everybody was waiting in line. I'm like leaving because I got on Friday I didn't make it out of semis, and then I didn't make it to semis on Saturday. But then on Friday, I'm like walking out. I'm like, what the hell is everybody in line for? I figured maybe it's transponder returns. You know, people return transponders or something, you know, and trophies at the same time. But no, that one line was all for trophies for people to find out where they finished. Because there was actually some good racing where, you know, you're sitting there, if you're paying attention, and it's like, oh, dang, now the person that won first round actually took third, second round. So like it did make it pretty freaking exciting.
It was a good racing
as a spectator watching.
And it changed the announcing because now it was not what you see. What you see is what you're going to get. It's I'm not really sure who's winning. You know, there's enough riders in the class that they didn't know. They mix it up so much. You know, guy who won the first round, he wads it up in the second round, moto, and then they swap it up again in the third round. They didn't know who was who. And with that many motos, I guess. So I don't know. NBL used to do.
I do have an intermediate, Michael DeRusso. Hey, happy birthday there, Robert.
Happy birthday, Robert.
He raced intermediate and moved up to expert. He said that intermediates did have gate selection and total points.
Would they have to run them slower to get all the finishes correctly?
No.
Or is that computer and those people that fast?
They turned in the moto sheets. Like they were constantly running the moto sheets back to like the trailer.
So
and everything.
Okay.
Quick question for you. With the lane selection and all that, like in the total points part you guys were talking about, when you had the total points part, am I like, you guys tell me because you guys were there, was that like back in the NBL days, like less than 8 and you just were there and you're all going to make quote unquote the main, but it's lowest score wins, right?
Right. Well, yes, exactly.
Back in NBL, there wasn't a 2-moto format.
Correct.
NBL was 3 up, and And so it wasn't restricted by 8. It was everyone. You just ran hard all 3 motos every time. There was no.
You got more points out of the motos than you did out of the main.
So
you got more laps, and
Yeah.
if you have the inside and you smoke the guy who's usually hard for you to beat in the first race, well, he was going to have the inside on you the next one. So,
Right.
Well, and see, like for some of us that just had a semi, some of the guys up in my class in the older classes, when the sheet came out and said you had a semi, it's like, okay, we got to race our ass off first round, race our ass off second round, and then we're going to find out who the four lowest scores are going to be going to the semi. But no, if it's over the 8, they ended up doing the transfer. So if there was quarters or semis, they went back to the transfer system and top 2.
Okay.
I didn't know the top 2 thing. I didn't know how they were working. Hey, Justin Shepard, Billy from Gate 9 number plates, and Giffy. Thanks for tuning in, guys. I see you.
Tom Johnson's in here.
Giffy, Nick Quinn. Hey, Motor City Harley Davidson. Nick Quinn's in the building.
There he is.
Nick Quinn.
Bill Sharp's joining us too. I should have gave you guys the login.
Big Bill.
And we all could have hit it. Rick.
Big Rob Porter,
Oh
my
my
homie,
God.
out of Arizona for daylight. What's up,
I
Rob?
know what Mike just read.
Nick likes Rick. Nick likes Rick.
Rick gives me a semi. That is fantastic.
Unhook that trailer, son.
Oh my God. That is amazing. Actually, I'm gonna hang. I got to get an oil change tomorrow, Rick or Nick, and I'll probably head over to the store. I'll come visit you after I get the oil change. I didn't get out of work until late tonight. Appreciate it.
Yeah, even Eric Warrington saying lowest point transfers after 3 motos. Yeah, see, it wasn't like doing 3 motos and then the main. It was first moto, second moto, main. That was like the 3 moto transfer for the total points.
And that
unless you had a quarter or a semi.
That was back in the NBL day. I'm on the wrong screen. Sorry, guys. Back in the NBL days, you did 3, right, Brian? Like you did 3, and then you'd go to the semi, right?
Yeah, it was. Dude, I'm a little foggy.
Me too, because I raced it, but I can't.
But all I know is going back and riding UCI like at the Worlds.
Yeah.
And running 3 races hard, and then jumping into. I mean, at the Worlds, you're like in 16ths. And you know what I mean? So it's like, then it starts. And so it's like just a lot. And I miss that.
At UCI's, you're running the 3 motos, then you go to your qualifying rounds on a UCI format too? Yikes.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, bro.
Yep.
It's a lot of racing.
Yeah.
Especially in one day.
Yeah, and that's why the NBL guys were faster.
That's right.
Yeah.
And they and their tracks are bigger and more
technical.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's better in Europe. Shoot at Zolder, there was a pub next to the first turn.
A what?
You could go get a pub. You could go get a Duvel on draft after your race. Just right next to the first turn.
Hey,
right there.
That's almost like going to Bakersfield.
Just going to Vegas and sitting in a bar watching the races.
Hey, I got motoed on purpose in Vegas.
So hey, I got a quick story for you guys. Tim just stepped out, but there was Brian, you guys, Rick, you might have heard of this because it was a pretty big deal. Here back like years ago in Ohio, we had a indoor track that was in a dome, one of them golf domes, and they put an indoor track in there and they were running it, and it had a bar in it, and they ran, this is how long ago it was, they ran a coax cable out of the bar out of the bar all the way up to the deck that you would use for the driving range in this dome. And they had a camera up there on a tripod, and I'm talking like a camera, that was not quite a VHS tape. We were past that time, but pretty close. And so they ran a coax cable to that thing, and they fed it back in the bar. And the parents would just shoo the kids out to the track, and they could sit in the bar and watch the races on that. Do you remember the dome track? I was just telling them about that back in the day up in Ohio. Down in Ohio.
Oh yeah.
So they were talking about having bars in at the tracks, like so
up front of the bar. They did.
Yeah. So again, like you could order some food, have some drinks, and I thought, like, man, that's a good time right there, man.
I had a Leap award plate at that track.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Sounds like a good time to me.
Yeah, exactly.
Gmo's checking in. He's like, NBL's buried in the middle of the Arizona desert, right outside Luna's office window.
With Hoffa.
They'll find the remains of the NBL was probably before they'll find Hoffa first.
Who do we talk? We were at the dome track, and we told one of the pros showed up. He goes, "How do you hit that damn pro set?" Because there was a pro set in the second straight. We told him, "You just got to blast it, man." This fucking guy overshot it by 10 feet.
It was Upshaw.
No. It was a white guy. I think it was a Dan's comp rider.
Timmy?
I believe it might have been Timmy, but
okay. Oh, it was.
He overshot the damn thing by the whole next jump. I'm like, holy shit!
Yeah, that was a full blown track on that there though.
It was a fast track, very much so.
I mean, they had all the room in the world because it was a golf dome. Then it went to soccer. So like you walked in there and it was a full blown.
There was a weightlifting thing on one side of it too.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a legit. Yeah, and then it blew down, and they're like, "We ain't building that shit again."
Blew down twice.
Yeah, they're like, "Fuck all that."
Quitters.
To hell with it.
Fucking Ohioans.
Fuck this.
Yeah,
They were 10 minutes away from Cedar Point.
Yeah, but it was in the winter we raced there. So like you weren't going to goddamn Cedar Point then. So the static for some reason, guys, this is why we're going like one screen, another screen. I don't know what's going on. But for some reason when like we go split screen, it seems to like some reason there's some static or feedback. So we're going to keep going back and forth on the screens. But we're having great conversation. What do you got besides the national and Timmy and I reminiscing about the old indoor track down in Ohio?
Well, we got a handful of things going on. Well, if you tuned into the beer budget show last Sunday, we did a little Sunday service and everything. We did a little catching up and did a little recap from the national, Mikey and myself. And then we were talking about if anybody had seen the whole Powers Bike Shop YouTube with Moeller. Moeller's been pretty deep on a lot of podcasts, and he's been on fire lately, man. I mean, the guy preaches the truth, man. And he was talking about back in the day, he wrote an article on how to make a bong out of some triple clamp hammer-ring forks.
Let me found
the article and posted it on the beer page. And it was like the whole BMX world rejoiced after seeing that. It was just, it was a hit. It
was something.
And then people were like, man, I can't believe you posted it. It's like, well, you know what? With having our shows like we do, Justin, we got a lot of great fans. People are going to dig shit up and be like, found it from Faction Magazine.
Hell, Siebert Hacksaw had it. He told us what issue it was, what magazine,
exactly.
What issue during the show. He's like, oh, that's issue number 4. Mm-hmm. And we're like, God. He goes, I'll send it to you. I'm like,
you posted it on the beer page?
Huh?
You said you posted it on the beer page? There it is. I'll get it right here.
Yeah.
Let me go here.
Now we're all going to hell. Oh, look at Brian pulls his glasses down. I want to see this.
Look at this.
Dude, I remember this.
What the hell?
Because those forks.
Yeah, how to make a bong out of triple clamp hammer-ring.
He was straight.
He didn't like hammer. He's like, Dan
no.
He's like, why would you make something this
things.
ugly? I'm gonna make a bong.
He was straight clowning these forks too, man. And like he went hard on them.
He did when he was doing his Powers walkthrough too. He goes, these are the most ridiculous things I've ever seen in my life. That's why I made a bong out of them.
Oh my God, that was shit.
Yeah,
look at them things. Who's doing the article? Was that Lawan Cunningham? Who's the cat in the pictures right there? I can't zoom in.
It says up in the very, very top part where the underneath the triple conversion.
Yeah, that was his magazine, right?
I see Mulligan's name.
I do. I see that in the corner. But who is? Help us out if you guys watch and if you recognize.
I got bad eyesight.
That's not Lawan. He was running for Hoffman back
We've
then.
had one or two Michigan riders with those forks.
Oh, that's Marvin Lottery, right? Let me go.
Yes, there you go.
Now
Lottery. Yes, sir.
Is it?
Damn, that's some Dirtworks made a bong out of a state finals trophy
20 years ago. Damn, that must have been a hell of a trophy. Fuck.
Must have been a hell of a bong.
Shit.
Oh my God.
Bong that big. How do you remember anything? Jesus Christ.
Good God. I just want to know how the hell Cardoza hasn't made one of these fuck things.
You know he's got one. You remember this, Brian? You remember this article?
No, I don't.
Where the hell's Uncle Ronnie at?
What year was that? Do you know?
Wait, Deceiver. Wait,
I don't remember what year it was. Yeah, I don't know. Hacksaw's tuning in. I don't know if he's tuning in right now because Hacksaw he's not on the West Coast anymore. He lives in Tennessee.
Yeah, he's an hour behind us.
So early. He's not an early go to better.
Well, no, because he's in the middle of doing a lot of tests for his final architectural license and stuff.
When he's not reading about bongs, he's master architecting.
Yeah,
or building hell track, you know.
Right?
You know another
Jim.
I mean, he's the BLBP guy, dude.
Yeah,
he's crushing PBRs in the half shell, doing fakies at his jumps when we're trying to put on a goddamn contest.
Right, and he stomped it too. God, that guy
scared away the competition.
Yes, he did.
We barely got the flyer out, and the shit ended.
I feel
Dustin.
We tried 3 times on a fakie challenge.
The best fucking flyer you could ever have, and the damn thing.
But the best fakie you could do too. It's like, fuck,
dude,
all right, so much.
Brian was
so much for this one.
Brian was a sponsor of that contest. Danger Snacks was a sponsor of the fakie contest, and then the goddamn Hacksaw drops that video, and we're like, dude, the best I had was that fakie down there at Naples for like 4 backwards pedals, and that was it. And I thought I was in the running, and then Hacksaw just comes in and shits on us. We're like, yeah, we can't compete with that.
Just everything, just diarrhea, dude.
That was a dump truck full of shit on that one.
Fuck this up.
Good Lord.
What's up, Todd?
I think it was around the early 2000s, Brian. I'm trying to Google isn't helping me a ton right now. It was, but like there's
Action magazine.
So whenever it came out, I don't know.
Yeah, I was radio silent for way too many years between probably 91 until 2010. So
yeah, I think we might have missed that.
Really?
I was motocross focused at the time.
Hey, before we jumped on, you were talking about the event you were at this past weekend, and Mooskin showed up. Where were you at, and what were you doing hanging out there?
So I was at Glen Helen at the first race of El Dorado, which is the first series for the Swap Moto Race Series. And Marvin wasn't actually there for that race. He was there a couple of races earlier last year, which was just a highlight for that Swap Moto Race Series. But, dude, it's crazy because a lot of the kids, especially coming out of the Mini Monsters race that I'll be announcing mid-February, I'm seeing all those dudes on Supercross on TV, like, you know, in that development group. So it's pretty crazy to be able to announce those munchkins, see how fast they are locally, and then watch them, you know, top 5 in Supercross.
Why are they not allowed to jump?
You're talking about the KTMs?
Yeah, the little 50s.
I don't agree with that. I remember being with Peter Casano at a Supercross race in San Diego back in the day, and one of those kids hucked it. You know, they hit the first 2 of the triple, and everyone lost their shit. So it was.
I remember the one kid. He comes across the finish line, and yet he launches it, and the whole crowd goes nuts.
Yeah, that was the
Facebook phenomenon of that. They go, "Oh my God, he won the race!" But no, they disqualified him because he jumped.
You're kidding me? I didn't know they disqualified him.
That's what I read. I may be wrong, but that's what they said.
That's horse shit.
Exactly. Like, are you fucking crazy? The kid is that good? He should just weigh in first.
I mean, at least just accuse him of sandbagging or something, but don't disqualify him.
Yeah, right.
Just call Bilbo Baggins on him.
That's what I mean. That they're not allowed to jump, but why not? If they could do it, why not?
Maybe. Yeah, you don't think it's an insurance thing, do you?
Yeah, crazy, but it's a good. That's a good series.
I love watching them little rippers. They go around the track faster than some of the big guys do.
Aren't they, Brian? Are they on the e-bikes? Is that a thing where you're
some
at?
of them? I mean, it's a combo of 4 strokes and 2 strokes, but now the Starks are starting to show up. These are. I mean, at Glen Helen, you got to be on a pretty decent bike. I have been announcing another series that's sponsored by Stasic and watching the little kids tear it up on the e-bikes. But that's almost crazier than the full motocross, just because the parents are showing up in full factory Sprinter vans and a little 3-year-old noodle walks out to go racing, and it's like I can't even believe how factory the rig is. And the kid's like playing with Tonka truck in the dirt.
He doesn't care about the bike after he's done with it. He just wants his Tonka truck.
Put the helmet on and go. But it's it's fun to watch those crazy parents, turn into crazier parents when they're crazy serious when their kids start to get fast. So I wish I would have started that young.
You said you're doing some announcing on them. And Tim's done announcing. I've done it. You done Tim and I do BMX announcing. You have too. What's the big difference like between how do you announce the motocross race when it's like so loud? I've always wondered that.
Dude, it's hard. It's definitely hard. At Glen Helen, I'm lucky because I'm in an enclosed room, so I can actually close the door.
Okay.
And I'm behind glass. So that's been, awesome. That's my favorite track to race. But sometimes I'm just working out of the back of a box van with speakers on the top. So you just got to time it, I mean, and dude, motocross isn't even loud compared to
because it's wide open.
Well, because it's a larger facility. I've been doing some emceeing for a Red Bull street freestyle athlete, Aaron Colton. And now that's loud. That 765 street triple, doing wheelies and turning burns, in the parking lots. You know what I mean? It's like suddenly timing of when you're going to speak and, how you're going to time over the next couple seconds where you say something and then, get the crowd excited because he's about to do a nose wheelie, an endo right into the crowd, and they're not expecting it. That's been a fun experience.
And at like an outdoor event, we got Redbud by us, and like I don't always hear, like in certain parts you can't really hear the announcer. So when you're like announcing some of those you're doing motocross, right? Yeah. So what do you do in the parts that you can't see the track? Like, how do you announce that stuff? Or do you just pick an area and that's kind of the area you're announcing?
Oh man. Well, for me, like my mom, I start to get used to the rider's gear, so I can kind of see,
familiarize yourself with the riders
from a distance, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And my favorite thing that I've been doing lately is just talking shit. Like when a rider comes around and doesn't have readable numbers, like my mom used to say, you know what I mean? If we can't read his number plate, then we're not going to talk about him. And, you know what I mean? So I'm like calling people, we're going to call him Mr. Pickles, and I literally announced the whole race.
I have done something of that nature. Yes.
Yeah. So I've been doing that, and that's been a lot of fun. Or a couple of the older riders, I'll fuck with them kind of like in boat rides and BMX. So I'll talk about how fast that rider's going, how he's just smoking everyone, and there's nothing anyone can do, and he's in last. And his friends will come up just like, dude, we're rolling down here because I'm announcing the race as if the guy in last is winning.
There you go.
And of course, he loves it because they get it on video. I do the same thing in BMX where, if there's only 2 riders and they're taking 2, I'll announce the race as if there's a third rider. and say, "Oh, here comes a third place rider. He's on the left. He's on the right. There's nothing the rider in front of him can do." And the guy's looking behind him, like thinking there's an actual guy behind him. People are cracking up. So just to try to make it exciting. But that's been working out for me.
Nice. We thanks for answering, because like I've been to the motocross races, and that's something I'm curious of. Like especially at Redbud, I look over at the I know where the announcer tower is, where they're perched up there, and wonder what that's like.
Yeah, it's gotta have binoculars.
The main difference, you gotta have the binoculars.
Okay.
Yeah.
The main difference is, certainly is binoculars. But
a lot of guys look like each other.
This is totally true. Glen Helen's great because it has Mount St. Helens, so I'm usually looking as they're coming down Mount St. Helens, and I can see the numbers, where they're at and who's who and what's what. But because it's a longer race, it's not like, this is one of the things I didn't like about announcing USA BMX Nationals was, you only have that second turn to third turn to the finish line to announce, and you really just didn't have enough time.
Half a track, yep.
Yeah, and so I was actually instructed to not call out who finished third, like killer ride. That's how you push to the line. Came up a little short by Johnson, and they're like, don't mention third place because they're going to get confused and think they transferred. And that's kind of not how my mom used to roll, so it's really not how I roll. So in motocross, because I have 8 or 10 minute motos, I get to call everyone. So in those in-between times when the leaders are off in the back section and, slow poke McGrew is coming on through, I'll put that person on blast and make them feel like a rock star and just try to catch every rider and every number that I can.
Since you just said that, I got a question for you. With the announcers, has there ever been a rule about if the announcer mistakenly places the third place rider in front of a second place rider, does that officially count? Has that ever been a rule? Have you ever heard of that?
No. I mean, I'm in my world announcing, the announcers are never official.
Okay.
But what I say doesn't go. So, but you know what I mean? It's always fun to get excited about it. And, I like to give props to the people who pushed all the way to the end, even if they came up short,
They look more, yes.
Yeah,
that kid in third that didn't make it out, but he's pushing his ass and got within a couple of inches of it, looks better than the guy who actually got it. Yeah.
And I mean, that's how you get better, by chasing rabbits.
See, I was pulling up some pictures of Glen Helen here that you were talking about.
That'd be a hell of a first hill right there.
That's Mount St. Helen in the back, and Yamaha Hill kind of up in the middle of course, the iconic Talladega first turn where it says Glen Helen at the top. I mean, that's essentially a wide open turn. You don't have to brake. It's insane. It's like dirt track. It's like flat track. It's crazy. So being able to announce at Glen Helen is an honor, man. I was just telling the staff operator last night, I was just like, dude, thank you for this, because I'm proud every time I pull up and get to step into that tower. It's nuts. I used to go there and watch. I watched when Kevin Windham came out of retirement, kicked everyone's ass on a 450 and a flannel.
Kevin Windham, who's that?
It's for transition, right?
There you go. There, and I love hearing how it is announcing in other, other sports. I mean, like when Rick gets back in, like he announces. This. You guys got to announce at was it Dirty Fest?
Yeah.
No,
well, I didn't announce at Dirty Fest. I announced at Frogtown.
Frogtown, yeah. You guys announced at Frogtown together. And was it? Who else did you guys have? It was you and him, and didn't you have a third guy?
Roy Ball came up there. Mike Savage came up there.
Oh, wow. Savage announced too.
Yeah. It was fun. It was fun to watch
Savage.
Al and Thunder Midget do their thing.
Is Roy Ball an announcer at his home track?
I would imagine so. I mean, the guy never stops talking at any track he's at. So I would imagine.
I have to race the guy. He's my class.
He's good.
And I've raced him a few times over the years.
I mean, he's one of those. He's like felt. You know what I mean? Like you can see the pass coming way before it even happens.
Yeah.
You know. So, and you know, size doesn't matter.
He's still killing it, still doing it.
He's totally killing it. That dude rules. You know what I mean? He's like, you got to come up and dirt jumping with me, dude. I'm like, fuck, dude. We'd have to go like 7 times for me to hit that once.
Yeah. When he was on the show, man, we got to get him back on the show. It was like 4 minutes into the show, and my face hurt from laughing already.
Oh, he's hilarious.
Dude, I remember him cracking this joke about how he goes, no, Roybal. He says how he liked his women, and it was like tying into like a donut or something. And I remember it was right off the jump. Yeah, well, that's a teaser. If you want to know what that is, go back and watch the show. You can find it on our YouTube channel. Just don't go back and watch the first 9 shows of the All Things BMX Show when it was under a former name. But the dude, he jumped off and he said something. He's like, just like I like my women, like my donuts. And
so he's a comedian.
Dude, I'm like, we are in for a banger this evening, ladies and gentlemen. Like we knew right then and there, like. And it just got, like, he is something else. And then hanging out with him, oh, man. He'd come by when we were in Vegas a few years ago out there. Melissa and I went out for that race. And it just, always funny. Always funny. And, like, he wasn't even racing. He just had his boy racing. And, just great fun. Great fun. Like, that guy is BMX right there, right?
Oh, yeah. And Julian's not too shabby of an announcer either, man. He trained with the best.
I imagine he's probably, yeah. I bet he's doing good. So what else you got going on, man? You're doing the announcing. You're hanging out to motocross races. We talked a little bit. You're looking at you getting back into riding. How you got any farther on the build?
I tried a bit last year, but I was having some shoulder problems, so I think I got it all worked out now. And then I'm always getting pestered by my friends, and then of course seeing Scotty do really good. Scott Felt was very inspiring, and because he was sort of messaging me the 6 months before the Grands, maybe a little earlier than that, about everything he was doing for training and stuff. And so it was really wonderful to see that all come to a culmination at the Grands for him. So I'd love to go out and turn some laps with him and the boys and girls over at Bellflower BMX. Tammy, that's my local track.
Okay.
And, I got a cruiser here. We were talking about fenders. You know what I mean? I'm trying to fabricate a fender for it. Yeah, I can't wait. I'm totally missing it. I built a 26-inch mountain bike and I fucking hate it.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys can ride mountain bikes. For me, it's just weird. I feel like I'm on a monster truck.
There's some guys that can, and most guys that can't.
Yeah. And I started to love it once I started riding wheelies on it, because I was like, all right, dude, you got to just take it around the neighborhood, and instead of jumping on your street bike to go to the pet store, bring your mountain bike. So I'll like ride wheelies all the way like I was, in
you got to have fun with it first.
Yeah. And so then I was like, okay, now you got to like change it up. So it's just weird. What's weird for me is suspension, bro.
Are you running it like a kind of a little bit on the squishy side, or are you bringing it in like pretty much locked out?
Dude, it's a hardtail. And I have and the new SRAM Pike Ultimate forks, there is no lockout.
No.
So it's all about just running the proper pressure for what you're riding on and your weight, just sort of setting it.
There's a couple of guys up at Waterford that I've seen on those mountain bikes. They say they lock the forks out. They just lock them out.
I wish I had a lockout on that. I really do.
The ones that can, yeah.
Bunny hop and shit really wonkerific, you know. So it's just weird. I think I just need more time on it, you know. But the reality is, I just need more BMX bike time. That's probably the truth of the matter.
Get back on the 20.
Excited to ride. I still got my TNT. I love my TNT. I mean, every time I look at it, I love it more. So, and then I bought a Daylight, and I've never ridden it.
No, still.
So how it rides. So
right.
I guess we'll see.
They're slightly different, but if you keep riding them, you get used to them.
Yeah.
They're smooth as hell.
I was telling him about riding Craig's at the track.
Yes. Oh, yes.
And
man.
Like, everyone was like, oh, you're not going to like it. You're not going to like them. And then I took Craig's around and rode it. And I'm like, this isn't bad at all.
So did I.
And, you know, again,
at a track I wouldn't believe to be on it, but it was beautiful.
Yeah.
The bike. Yeah.
Man, he got a steal on that thing. Sorry, I'm working on doing. Where can I add that? I'm working on some changes because, like, for some reason, Bryan, I'm finding static when I'm mixing the two screens together. Not that this matters right now, guys. But like, yeah. So I'm working on just doing.
This
a
is
couple
where
things.
I take a break.
Yeah, Tim's just got to take a break here. Yeah, it's. Well,
you say Tim's got static. I think my hair is going crazy.
Yeah. So, we and like I said, you know, you and I chit-chatted a little bit about the Daylight stuff, where you know, there's a little bit of adjustment to it, but then like you're just off and running with them, man, and they're solid bikes.
You know, to be honest with you, the first time I jumped on Craig's bike, I didn't think about all that. I took it on the track and I rode it as if it were my bike.
Did you even notice it?
I did not notice it at first, and then I went,
how
wait a minute, what is different about this bike? Then I really talked to him about it, and I said, holy shit. And that's what I thought.
And everyone,
but it rode smooth as hell.
And they really jump good.
Like, what was the difference, would you say?
Well, the bottom bracket, for number one.
Well, they're lower.
Yes.
But, like, for me.
But the way he had it set up was beautiful for me.
Yeah, but I didn't notice so much with the bottom bracket.
Pardon me.
I got. Hang on, guys. I got you coming through. When like you get it off the ground, to me, and this was a 20, by the way, Bryan.
Yeah.
It was very stable. You know,
very.
You didn't have like the twitchiness or anything like that.
Have the twitchiness?
No. It was pretty good, man. Hey, good to see you guys back. Did the what happened? The delivery guy run into the
Yo, we made it. We heard you guys were having a show.
Yeah, I heard you had spaghetti.
Was that it? You heard we were having a show?
There's some hood shit going on. Hey, right behind the fence, like behind the back wall here, is a church and then the shopping center, and then like everything here on this housing track is all tied in. So God,
that's where our static came from. The church.
No, I didn't.
Could be.
It could have been. You know,
dude, I'm telling you,
it's going down. It's going down like an altar boy on a Sunday morning.
And that is why you guys bring the Sunday service.
Oh,
for sure, we do.
We're going to hell.
Hey, dude,
no doubt.
We're off like a prom dress. We're running.
We were going to hell.
Heard all the Al
way
Roy Ball shit. We got to get Roy Ball's already down in Bakersfield.
Is he?
He's at the VU getting the number 5 right now. He's like, where you at, Thunder? I'm like, we're over here trying to fix our fucking internet.
Did he tell you to do? Did he give you the ID 10 error and tell you to unplug it, plug it back in?
Jesus, yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's how he's hella technological in that way.
Yeah.
So Eric Warrington's in the chat. He was replying saying how like is he talking about Glen Helen? He's talking about how Glen Helen's like one of the gnarliest tracks. That's why all the factory teams do all their testing there. Scott Sloan, thanks for joining. Karim Rasool is joining us. He's going to be a guest here shortly on the All Things BMX Show. Guys, make sure you tune in when he's in here.
Skyscraper.
Yeah, we're going to have Skyscraper on. It'll be a good one. Manteca's in the house. There's you guys. I missed you guys commenting there. Nick Quinn wants to know if you guys have tried pissing on the on whatever's going bad over there on your end, Rick and Mike.
Sure, absolutely.
Hey, we still got that, and we could just take a dump. We could we got a handful of things still we could do. The night is young. Anything can happen. Hey, anything for the stunner shades from Nick Quinn. Okay,
Right.
Okay. Well, I'm just saying.
Look, Brian, I'm gonna go over to Motor City Harley tomorrow, and I'll get some of the stunner shades and get them shipped off to you.
We wear them.
You guys got them by you?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Never leave home without them. That's it. That goddamn static keeps coming in on this channel. Yeah, we got them sitting back here. There they are. Like we planned it.
Awesome.
Yeah.
It's totally unscripted.
Totally.
Just waiting for USA BMX to put in a sand section.
Oh shit!
Oh,
is Vic still in here?
That would be
Let's
cool.
find out.
Well,
what
a
we can do
bonsai would be great.
A sand section in a BMX track. You can imagine what the factory dads are going to be like, Brian. They can't have. Yeah, they can't have that shit in bottom brackets, dude. That can't. That's no. They can't. And then
they'd have to change front tires.
Oh yeah, there'll be gear changes, all kinds of stuff, man.
they'll be messaging Bill Ryan asking for paddle tires from Supercross.
Right?
Totally.
We'll be back to ride Max's Max Daddies.
Yeah.
I was going to say it at Kearney BMX before Tyler took it over, San Diego BMX. That gate was so worn down from decades of racing that the only way I would race that track is if I put a comp 3 on my front tire. I literally fell over on Griggs and he fell over on the next rider. Like it was just, it was more terrifying to get into that gate than to race.
I couldn't do that after years of racing on the Max's Holy Rollers or whatever, the smoother ones.
The Max's DTHs.
DTHs. I'm sorry.
There ain't nothing holy about you.
No, when you went from a smoother tire back to the Comp 3s, it was night and day.
You're a sinner.
If you haven't raced Frogtown and Dirty Fest.
Oh yeah. Woohoo.
But I can imagine a sand pit. That'd be awesome in a sand pit.
Yeah.
Well, they had the sand pit on the pro side at Grams, sir.
What were you saying, Brian?
I was going to say I haven't done gates on those single gates yet. What's that like?
Oh, the paddle gates?
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Well,
I've heard about them.
Well, you remember here in Michigan, we had a pro start on the west side of the state. Like for about 10 years, right? Didn't Rock Cities? Didn't they run about 8-10 years the paddle gate? So like we didn't have like what USA BMX has, but we had the paddle gates that Pro Start built, right?
Yes.
And
Charlie,
they were it was different. Even though it wasn't like the gate they're using at the National, this was the grid gate that like the it had the grid that you sat on. And but the paddle thing is totally like a mind game with you. Like you get in it, and it's just that little narrow part.
Yeah.
But Rick's done a few nationals on them, and did Vegas have them when I was out there, Rick? The year you didn't go to Vegas?
No, they hadn't had it yet.
No, they didn't have it yet. Everything I've heard, man, it's super fast. So
that's what Wayne was telling me.
You can't. So like the thing we found with. Allegedly, we found with the Pro Start was you could. So if the paddle's here, I'm going to go sideways. You could, because this was like an early version of the electric gate that they had. You could pull off and kind of go like this,
like an Upshaw start,
like that, right? But then the track did an update. Because like Pro Start's all like computerized, they did an update so it fell faster and you couldn't. And that's what Rick was saying about the paddle gate is that like you can't beat that thing down. Like it's super fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
it is.
So what light are you going?
Yeah, you're going
on average. Is it the
red?
First light?
Red.
You're just going because
as slow as my reaction time is, I go when they start talking.
Yeah.
Yeah,
my reaction time is like, wait, was that my gate?
It flinches. It's releasing and it's go time.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
I guess the biggest benefit of the whole gate is that no one's going to get hurt from it if they fall before the gate drops.
It looks probably safer.
Yeah. Well, so they work on springs that pull them down, and I remember Andy sharing some video of it wasn't a tomato, it wasn't a cantaloupe. He put a fruit underneath it of some sort, and if anyone's watching that remembers this, like, correct me, but like it fell.
No, not a fruit.
I mean, not a fruit cake, but a fruit, and it fell down, and it didn't
the rider.
It didn't damage it, and it just showed that like it's there, like the idea
it's
that
not going to kill you.
The technology is there, like it's not gonna. You're not gonna lose fingers. You're not gonna lose hands, and that whole idea is there, and Andy designed that whole thing. I think it was like $12,000 or something. Like, and you can, George can correct me. Like, deploying the gate is like faster because it's more moldable, and it's you don't have to bring the whole gate.
Eric Warrington's asking. He's like, if I'm correct, there's a spring that pulls it down.
Yeah,
there is a spring that's on the underneath side.
Yep,
but it doesn't have like that big tension you would think. Because once the ram lets go, the rotating arm underneath is gone. That's out of the factor.
Yep.
Because like literally once all the paddles are all down, you literally can just take your hand and put your fingers between the openings of the paddle and lift it up by just single-handedly.
Yeah. Yep.
Wow.
That somebody told me about that where they had a picture of the gate at a national where all the guys were lined up and the gate. All 8 gates were at a different fall rate.
Yeah, that was the Grands.
They were there all at a different fall rate for each rider as fast as they were, because whoever was pushing it down was going first, and whoever was slower wasn't getting to the gate at all.
But it's so fast, you can't.
But the gates were falling individually.
It doesn't matter. It's irrelevant.
They were falling different enough to make a difference. It screwed Anthony Picardo 3 years ago with the Grands.
Yeah, and that was the first time they were using it.
Yeah,
too, because that was back when they had to redefine the springs.
Yeah,
because I forget who it was. It was Steven or somebody was at the bottom of the starting hill, and he had like a bag of just extra springs because they would shoot off. And I think it was the way the ends were curled and how they looped in.
Mm-hmm.
There was like a little slack of once it let go. The tension wasn't enough, and the spring couldn't keep up with the gate falling, and that's why the springs were shooting.
Scott Salone was saying, old school saying, the spring's there to keep it from bouncing back. Actually,
there you go. Right.
Yeah,
it makes sense.
I mean, again, like you were saying, like 3 years ago, I'm sure they've done some updates to it too.
Oh yeah, this was the first time they ran it. At that Grand,
for sure.
Yeah, ever since after that they ain't had a problem, man. That thing's been top notch.
And we have one locally too.
Do you guys? I don't.
Yeah.
We don't have anybody that has one right here in Michigan. Nobody's installed one of those yet, right?
I can just step up your game.
The closest we've had is the barrel gate.
We have
whoa,
not even close.
Whoa,
yeah, we got.
When you talk about stepping your game up, we've got a full blown Pro Start gate at one of our local tracks. The whole electric gate start.
And those are badass too, because Donnie has one of his Napa track.
Yeah, we have one of those too.
And those things are legit as hell too.
Dude, you want to know what's
really
holy shit? Are they fucking quiet?
You want to know the weirdest thing about those was you don't hear the gate drop.
You hear nothing.
But like when you're hanging out there, so the first few races was after I broke my ribs at Waterford.
Yeah, I remember.
So I'm hanging out at the track with Paul, and Paul's over in the announcer tower, and he's doing his thing, and I'm like, shit, I think they're racing, because you're used to the crash, right? And you don't hear that.
You don't hear that.
And like we're just so accustomed, and that's the other part too, is like when you're in the gate start, like you're just used to that noise, and you don't hear it anymore. Like going from there to your track, there's like a different
big slam.
Dude, you could totally get it like slowed down when you get to a track that has a regular gate. Yeah, they're nice. Austin out at Richfield Park, he put a lot of work into getting his group to raise the money to install that Pro Start electric gate. It's wild. And you got like Mike, Rick. You guys are planning on coming out for that whole shot race. So yeah, you guys will.
Oh yeah.
Well, we'll see you there.
Breaking news.
Breaking news
for the whole shot weekend. Giffy and I, over there at Job Apparel, Belvedere, Illinois.
The guy.
We did some date crunching, and that's my birthday weekend too.
Oh, good
September
Lord.
27th.
The day after, baby, the 28th.
Yeah,
son.
you're still gonna be here because that's Sunday.
I know, right?
Oh, really?
It's crazy, isn't it? How that weird how that works.
We got to get Dorsey out here somehow. And by the way, Dorsey, you've had some shout outs in there in the chat. Sievert, he shouted you out. He said, Bryan Dorsey, fucking legend.
I love that, dude. He's handed me my ass in Reno.
Welcome to, hey, I know the feeling, brother. Boy, I know the feeling.
He hands us our ass just with the information he has.
He worked. Last time he worked me was in Fernley. Hey, fucking good Lord. Where are you going?
That
guy can ride.
Him and I had a chit chat the other night, man, and some of the tea he was able to share with me on the Olympic freestyle level, absolutely insane. Like to hear him talk about the inside part, and it wasn't gossip or anything. He's just telling me some of the stuff, like hey man, here it is. It's in the Olympics, and to think like we're all pretty close in the same age, right? We're in that mid-40s and above age, so like
respect your elders.
You shut your face.
Mid-40s.
Look. I still claim Rick and I will still claim mid-40s, even though we're on the latter end of mid-40s.
Hey, we're still tied for NAG 1.
Well, you're close enough to mid-40s.
We're still tied for NAG 1 for podcast.
I'm pretty sure that the other two of the other three guys are in their mid-50s. So
what are you, Timmy?
Yeah, I just turned mid-50 November, so
you're mid?
Yeah,
I'm 54.
Royball's awake. Oh, my brother from another mother. Royball, give me a shout out.
I just seen that Royball's in there.
Nice. I got all of you beat. I just turned 56 a week ago.
Oh, dude, I'm gonna be 57 next month.
Are you?
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So,
well, we know who Grandpa is.
Nah.
Need a cane and a walker pretty quick.
Nice.
Go hang out with my dad. Shut up, Bill Sharp. We don't hear that negativity.
I don't need any of that bullshit.
Electric linear motor.
I have a 4 in my age. Yeah, 64, Jim.
And a plate of spaghetti.
How old, Sievert?
54.
Okay, all right. Yeah, well, anyway, he was sharing some stuff, and like for us, where we've watched freestyle like really blow up in the Mira age and the Eddie Fiola age and so on. Like, man, to think like now that's setting on the Olympic level, that it's just just BMX has been there for quite a few cycles, but now to Sievert sharing that information with me the other night, like just that's crazy. Like you think about that, and like now, like freestyle is setting in the Olympics right now. That's I never ever would have thought we'd have seen that.
Right, and great, and free, and look at like all the freestyle makers out there that are dying off. The brands.
Wow, Jesus, dude.
Well, Hoffman ain't going nowhere.
Like, goddamn.
No. Well, but like
Haro ain't going nowhere.
We talked about free agent a month ago with everything, all the big hitters they had, and it's like free agents out.
Yep.
Like, damn, dude. Like, but then you look at freestyle though. Oh, yeah, it's in the Olympics, but then like our freestyle riders out here in the States, we don't have no freestyle or park events. Just X Games. Other than that, they got to go overseas.
Right. Hi, Killer. What's up, buddy?
Well, oh no, you're right. Because is there a pro class in the USA BMX one? In that USA BMX freestyle series? If George, if you're in here,
there is a pro. Yeah, I mean other than that, that's it. We got the USA BMX freestyle thing. I think there's a pro part of it because I think didn't Maddie Kramer compete in it like last year? I think it was.
Dude, I don't. Yeah, and you know what? Like, I mean, you have the X Games, and that's an invite only, right? No, Sievert says there isn't a pro class. So you got the X Games, that's an invite only, and it's open class. All right. You're right. There aren't any.
Yeah,
We don't.
we talk. I mean, like we got our pros over here for BMX racing, But like you look at the freestyle guys, like there really isn't. They don't got nothing.
They gotta have big sponsors.
We don't have like the Vans tour, the Do tour, or any of that shit anymore.
Huck Kieranson, he said USA BMX hosts some C1 events at the USA BMX Freestyle. So if you're familiar with the mountain bike racing stuff, which correlates in the BMX, like the Category 1, Category 2, Category 3 is what he's referring to as far as the level of those. So that ties into to qualifying points eventually in the.
And Huck is killing it. Huck's going to go to the Olympics,
bro.
On freestyle.
Did you see his transfer?
As long as freestyle is still in the Olympics, Huck's going, dog.
Did you see it?
I will fight somebody.
Did you see that transfer he did at Ray's out of the berm up in
Good Christ Almighty! Hell yeah, dude! I commented on him like, dude, you are stud.
So Timmy and I have been to that place. That gap he did is like 10 times bigger than what looks like in that video. It's huge. It is huge. And for him, the way he had to get to it to transfer up in the deck, because the deck he transferred up into is that's where you drop in to where he came out of, right? And it is way bigger than it looked in that video. I'll try to pull this up real quick while you guys chit chat for a second.
So that mean he had to be a racer to get that much speed?
Huck is everything, kid. He's everything.
That helps.
He's a ripper, man.
He is. That kid is something else.
Who shared this to me?
Young.
I think somebody shared this with me. Here it is. Is this it? I think I might have it. Nope, that's that one. Is this? That's him going around the outer.
Is he a little kid?
Yeah, he's 10 years old doing backflips down there.
Wow. Okay, I didn't realize how young he was.
Hey, his team manager's Nick Long. Yeah. The captain, son.
He was learning backflips the other day on the big box jump at the end of the outer loop in the jump room. Like, check this out. Hang on, let me pull this up. Sorry. I'm going to mute this, and I got to go full screen here. Check this shit out.
That's a 10-year-old?
Yeah, he's fucking gangster.
He's taller than me.
We fucking rode with him.
I'm not surprised, Tim.
Let's go here. Look at it. So that's.
I'd have to go upside down to see what he was doing.
Oh shit! Here we go. Thank God they go here.
Ricky Brayback got into car today.
And then they throw their bikes like that, and then they get it back on, and nothing happened to it.
Right here, boom, he bar spinning too.
Well, not on purpose, but he's trying to.
He's got it. He's gonna get it. Look at it right here. Now he's getting it. There he goes. Bang.
That was an X-up.
Was that an X-up?
Unzo.
No, it wasn't. That was a bar spin, dude. Son. No, come on. That was a bar spin, right? That's a bar spin. He let go right here.
Bar 3.
Right. Ready. Bar. He's letting go right there.
Well, then he threw that so fast.
I'm telling you, man. That's right.
It's a 16-inch bike. It goes a lot quicker than you think.
I'm still on a 16-inch bike.
I'm amazed that he's 10 years old, let alone his 16-inch bike.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Somebody just Noah just let us know he just learned flares.
Oh, I want to see by 12 he's doing a cash roll.
He probably has that. Hey, this is a perfect question. Bryan, what do you think? What do you think about Hoffy? Like, what do you think about them and their big comeback right now? Like, because this kid rides for him that we just watched. He's leading the charge. Then they just signed Nick. And they brought Popovich and
more
Carly.
power to him.
Like, what do you?
I mean, anyone spending time promoting BMX is good. I mean, shit. The last time I raced when there was Huffy bikes was Ron House Super BMX back in the late 70s, early 80s.
If you take my age, 5 minus 4, that's how old I was when Huffy was good.
No,
a long time ago. That's what I'm saying.
In the 2000s, Huffy had a pretty good team.
Yeah. They had that.
Huffy Hyundai.
All right, I'm
yeah. No, you were racing then because we were at the Christmas.
GT Hyundai.
We had the Christmas Classic. We'd go down the Christmas Classic and GT, but Huffy had like that big team. And like Jimmy Levan rode for him, Todd Lyons rode for him, Polkamp rode for him. Like they were legit. They were big then. What do you got in the chat right now? Al
Brian Roybal wants to know if you shared any stories from your growing up.
Oh man,
said it should be a damn sitcom.
Oh dude, yeah, that's some crazy shit. You know what's weird about Huffy is it's such a wonky brand from back when I grew up. So it's interesting to hear you bring up these great riders who are sponsored by Huffy. You know, like how do you get over that? You know, that's like being sponsored by Trans.
Wonky name.
It's just like, you know,
as long as it's just a name, but on a good bike.
Yeah, and they debuted like their official race frame. Carly Kane had hers at Grand's a month ago. Shit, almost 2 months ago. Damn, sorry, almost been 2 months since we've been at Grand's. And then she just got another new one that she had on her Instagram. It's like royal purple or deep blue or something. That thing, it looked good, man. It looks really good.
They bring in the Huffy Pro Thunder
last weekend with Nick. The kits are popping. Like there's some. I'm telling you. They look really good, you know, and I was talking with Justin a couple of days ago when we were talking about, you know, some topics for the show was like, you know, the two comeback brands is actually Huffy and Hyper. You know, you look at Hyper, they got Jeremy Smooth with freaking the Major Marshall Gerke and Lily Ashley. And then you got Huffy with Huck Krasinski, the captain, E-Pop, and Carly Kane.
Don't sleep on Nick Bruce. You got Nick,
right. Nick Bruce on the freestyle side for Huffy. Like they got some hitters. Now you could do a little like, where's the salary cap? What are we gonna be looking at here when we get mid-season? What are these rosters gonna look like? You know, could they go and overshadow and just put everybody else on easy street? Like, do they have that kind of money or backing or whatever?
E-Pop's got the game for it.
E-Pop's good, dude. I mean, in 70-20, shit. Come on, kid.
He won this weekend.
Yeah, dude. E-Pop was freaking looking good, you know. But it's like I think that's a pretty good rivalry, and we haven't really had like a brand rivalry out there, you know. And for these being comeback brands, I think there's something that could be in the works, something cool. You know, with them, Jay Smooth with Acre Brands and everything out there with what they're doing. You know, Jay Smooth versus the captain. Shit, that's a doozy,
right? So bring the Hutch brand back.
Oh God, I don't.
You got to talk to Matt Heaps about that.
Yeah, it's still around. I mean, it's still floating around.
Yeah, still.
Yeah, it's one of those licensing things, though.
Anyone know where Huffy's based out of? Is it like an East Coast thing or West Coast?
It's just outside of Dayton, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah. There you go. That makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. That's why they shoot a lot of their promo videos at Dayton Indoor.
Yep.
Yeah.
Taco Tuesday factory sign Holly Dunn.
It'll be cool to see one at the
Holly Dunn.
Hey, Holly, I see you in the chat.
She got
tuning in.
She got re-signed, huh?
Taco Tuesday.
That's
my first race back was a 76 or a 74 Huffy Pro Thunder. Mike Miller said he's got a monocoque in his garage. Mine was just a regular one. But
what was that one around early '80s? Pro Lightning or something like that? I think it was a Lightning.
Yeah, that's before me.
I had one of those back in the early '80s.
Dude, you remember the Huffy in the 2000s. It was like the TL88 and the Levan. I went through a few of those, but I was working at a bike shop, so I got like
a few of them.
I got hella deals on them, so I just like buy them. Yeah. Build them up, ride them for a minute at the local park in Owasso, sessions, beat the shit out of them, and then get a new one. Because the Huffy rep, he would do a grassroots deal, and you could get it, like I could buy it because I worked at the bike shop, super cheap.
Pro Lightning, Pro Thunder.
Pro Thunder, was that it?
Yeah, I remember that one.
Pro Lightning and Pro Thunder, says.
I got the Instagram pulled up here. I was looking at some of these.
You got to go back to early '80s for that, though.
No, I know, but I was. Rick was talking about the bike that Carly Kane had. Let's see if I can get logged in here.
What the hell was the one that had the discs and shit in it? Wasn't that the Arista?
No.
That fucking thing that weighed like fucking 55 pounds, dude.
Yeah, I had that weird disc on it.
the wheel discs front and back, a coaster brake, a fucking kickstand,
the Moto Mag,
a goddamn fucking dinghy.
Yeah,
it's just like
it was a fucking tank.
Boy, we thought we were the shit with those things. Hell yeah, it's gonna cut the air. Dude, you're gonna be able to spend it.
So
you had no weight, you roll somebody over.
Those things are worth the grip right now.
You guys have saw some stuff come and go, right? So I'm gonna ask Dorsey. I mean, your mom, legendary announcer. You tagged along. You've seen BMX through ups and downs and ups and then downs. Like, what's one of the big gimmicks besides the triple clamp fork that we talked about earlier? But like, what's
sprockets?
Like, what's the gimmick that you can think of? You're like, oh my god, I can't believe that happened.
Attic sprockets were killer. I mean, they just didn't last. They were cool, but
you know, I don't know if I can recall any like super crazy technology back. I mean, back when I raced from 78 to 91. You know, the craziest shit was like gators. Like, why were we wearing gators? You know what I mean?
No snow anywhere.
Wait, what are
run that by us?
What the hell are these? What are they?
So gators were like a sock outside of your leathers that kind of you put up around your calf.
Wait,
and they were branded. They were like Clydesdale fur for a horse, but for BMX, and you could brand them with different colors, and it's just weird.
For one,
did Bill Prince make these things? Because this sounds like a neoprene like total thing that Bill would make. Like
using it on his hotspot. We're not using no internet.
It sounds exact. Hang on 1 second, guys. Like, was that? Why I do? Hang on, I got to pull this up. It was a gator. You said these were around your.
They were around your calf.
What the hell?
But they were an actual sock.
It was like a tube with like
in the garage.
Plastic on the top to hold it up. Yeah, I'm trying to search for it as well.
It keeps coming up.
They use gators for snow skiing. And snow skiers use them. It's like a plastic thing that went over the outside of your pants to keep your pants dry. How they got into BMX, I have no fucking clue.
Yeah, they were all. There was a time, you know what I mean. So, yeah, I don't really remember. Freaking one piece cranks and fluted seat posts, and uniseats were the big deal back then. The plastic seat, but then again, I was a kid. I was a tiny little munchkin.
Well, Skyway mags were a big thing back then too.
Those were bitching. Those, I mean, I still wish I had.
I have a pair.
Yeah, those were sick. Speaking of Skyway, I was out at Lake Elsinore. I got to announce the last race at Lake Elsinore motocross track, which is very sad that they closed it. And Cheeseburger was out there. I got to announce his kid Camden, which was a race moto, which was sick. There's some Red Bone Blood there racing as well, which was killer. And it was just sort of a nuts event. But who stopped by to say hello was Andy Patterson, former Factory Skyway
Andy
rider.
Patterson?
Yeah, he stopped by, and I got to hang out with him.
Now there's a name. I wish Patterson would come back with a frame and get their name back out there.
Yeah, that's kind of fun.
They're still in it.
Now, question mark.
What? What's your question mark?
They're still in it. That's what I heard.
They have a lot to do with Frogtown out here for our old school race, and they're behind
Dirty Fest.
Okay, now I just wish they would get a frame out there and put their name on it.
Right?
Why?
Supposedly, word on the street
so
they might be doing like that, like what Bill Ryan's doing with Torker. Supposedly, word on the street.
Okay.
Word behind the moto board. Okay.
So make 100 of them and let one of us buy them, and that'd be good. I'll be good with that.
That's all.
Yeah.
What were you saying?
They sponsored the Bay Area 510 team.
Nice.
So they're still in the sport. They're just not making any product.
Oh, they're not front and center.
No, they're not. No, they're not. No, they're not making.
They're busy with their business. Their fire suppression business is huge out there in the Bay Area.
What were you saying?
They need it in Los Angeles right now.
What were you saying, Brian? You were finishing up on that.
I just said I missed my torquer. That was probably, back in those Clint Miller days, Tommy Bracken.
Ooh, there we go.
My torquer. That was my favorite bike. I mean, obviously my JMCs were my pride and joys, but I feel like I was a little bit young to understand what I had at the time. So
that's for sure. All the bikes I had growing up racing, I wish I had them now.
Man,
and I got one, but the rest of them are all newer.
Or the torquer, you took all the stickers off and you thought it was a Haro freestyler.
I loved it. Black and yellow was sick. I mean, I grew up in the Jason Jensen era.
Ooh,
I can't believe how big that dude got, because he was just a little fucker and so fast. Just amazing, the torquer days, old Corona and all that stuff. But that was nuts. I mean, we couldn't even walk up the hill to go to our race. It was so steep. We'd have to get a ride on the back of an ATC before they outlawed them. It was cool.
It sounds like more fun going up the hill than it was down the hill.
Did we just get dropped? Sorry, guys.
Huh?
Are you guys?
No, you're still on. I got you on the phone.
Okay. All right. Thanks. You were talking about bikes that you didn't know you had, and I've shared this story a couple times. I had a baby blue Hutch Trickstar.
Yeah.
Like a powder blue, baby blue, whatever.
They had the weird colors.
Well, I had no idea what I had.
The baby blue.
Like a kid in town that did BMX was like, I'm getting out of BMX. I'll make a really good deal on this. I bought it from him, took some parts off it, and I remember I moved out of my folks' house, and like months later, they're like, "Hey, what are you doing with this? These bike stuff you left?" I'm like, "I'll be over there. I'll take care of it." I sat that shit by the road, not knowing what I had.
Oh,
you talk like
window liquor.
Damn it!
It is painful. And especially after we started this show, to know exactly what I had, and I just sat it by the road for fucking Waste Management to come along and pick up. I had the forks, that one hurts. That one hurts. Because I've told you guys before, not a big bike collector. I really, I enjoy looking at bikes and talking about them, but like, man, would I love to have that thing back. Totally would love to have that one back.
Yeah, that's gotta hurt.
Oh, that would stink.
Yeah, Hollywood porn stash. Good Lord.
Yeah. There you go. There it is.
The ultimate seller right there.
Yeah.
That guy can sell ice to an Eskimo.
You sure can, dude.
Yeah.
Crazy.
I got a pink Hollywood. Yeah. That was, and you know what? I had no idea that thing was even tied in to Hollywood. That Hutch was, and I probably had watched Rad 976 times. Kenny, I knew you'd remember that one, because I rented it from the local video store that everyone had growing up, not the chain before chains took over. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Never took it back.
Yeah. No, fuck no, I didn't, dude. I went right up to Sound Station in Durand, rented that bitch, and I'm like, I am not taking this thing back. And they never missed it. Then I went to Durand Home Video when they opened up, and I rented Crusty Demons of Dirt 1, and I never returned that video either.
Damn.
There's your.
I still have that.
There's a pattern going on there.
Because they didn't. First of all, Durand Home Video wasn't missing Crusty Demons of Dirt. Dude, there was 3 people in Durand that rented that thing, and I was one of them. And I probably paid enough late fees that I justified the fact that I was going to be able to keep that thing, because I'm like, look, dude.
Probably.
I'd rent that bitch and never take it back, and then I'd be like, shit, I better take it back. And they'd be like, you owe us like $30 on it, and I'd pay it. Then finally one day I'm like, Crusty Demons of Dirt 19 is out, or whatever. Like, I'm not returning this bitch. No. I just kept
Crusty Demons just sounds like a bent up freaking distance.
Hey, Brian, what do you think of the new Torquers?
I haven't really seen one. I've seen a couple of photos. So I don't know if I have enough info to comment on it, but
they're nice. I mean, with modern geometry, stretch it out a little bit so we can ride it.
I gotta take a look at that because it's so weird how BMX is different from way back when in those bikes.
Right.
It's just super strange. I'm grateful for guys like Johnny Johnson who pulled me aside when I got back into BMX in 2009. Mike Franzi at Fullerton Bicycle.
Hell yeah, Mike. I like Mike. Good guy.
GHP for me, and I didn't know what the hell I was doing. And and he made a list for me of every single part that you can get on a BMX bike, and he did a top of the line, middle of the line, low end of everything, so like DXRs were the top of the line crank, et cetera. And that helped me so much to be able to have that knowledge and just weird shit. Like, you remember when your dad or your mom would be like, where do you want your handlebars? And you'd be like, here. And whoever's working on your bike, and now it's just like, no, they got to be in line with
right.
It's just like, I mean, it's so different. So many families, I'd go to the BMX track and I'd be like, hey, your kids' forks are on backwards. You know what I mean? Like, it's just.
I've seen that.
Yeah.
All the time.
Shit, out here we get the factory dads with the bubble level app on their phone, and they're putting them against the side of me. Sure, it's like
At the rate of how I managed which parts were better was how much they cost. The more expensive ones were the best.
I agree with that. Nowadays, not so much. But yeah, it's definitely a factor. And to have that list that you got, Brian, that's a big help as far as today to build a new bike. I mean,
dude, that was like epic. I mean, that showed me.
Yeah.
That showed me what BMX is all about as an adult getting back into it, because I just you didn't have that back in the day. Back in the day, you either knew what was up or you didn't. And, it just didn't seem, or maybe I just wasn't paying attention, but I've got to thank Johnny for that one.
Back in the day, it was all whatever the best anodizing was, whatever colors you wanted. And if it looked the best, that's what we ran, because they were all the same. It was all loose ball bearing, it didn't really matter what brand you ran.
No clips either.
It looked best.
Yeah, all you had to do was tighten your headset.
Yeah.
Every time you rode the bike,
you'd get in the gate and you'd like shake your handlebars and then back up, tighten it up, and then get back in.
They'd be reaching down and
It's funny. It took me till I was 50 years old. One of my customers, he brought me a set of the actual Shimano wrenches. It would actually tighten a headset. I mean, two different set of wrenches that you could actually tighten it with, and it'd be done.
It was that Hutch. Hutch had that headset tightener piece with the little Allen wrenches on it. Remember that?
Yeah, the locking
locking headset. Yeah.
Would you turn it and then lock it?
Yep.
No way.
Yeah. Hutch had two little little Allen wrenches on it that would lock it into place, so he didn't have to do that. But of course, that cost money.
Dude, that was like so far ahead of its time.
Yeah.
That's good stuff, dude.
It's just changed. I mean, God, it's changed. I mean, like I said, I started in 73.
Yeah.
And God, I've got my bike from 74 sitting right here. And you look at it, and you look at every other bike in the shop. Good Lord, what a monster. In a way, so
about
much.
every 10 years. Yeah. Or more.
Oh, my God. It's drastic. Gary John made a great frame back in the day. I mean, so that's what my second bike was in.
There's
Tioga Bear Trap headsets.
Yeah, in the chat, there's a lot of reminiscing going on. Like,
I have a bunch of Tioga Bear Trap headsets if anybody wants one.
Dude, we were Beer just chimed in on the shit. We were
Lino bars.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Where's Sente?
Chris Beer.
Tell him, JD.
Wow.
Yeah.
Some Galindo bars. Holy moly.
Yeah.
He must have a podcast. Chris Pierce must have a podcast or something.
He's looking for a bro deal, bro. He's out there freaking.
Chris, tell us about Galindo bars
for Bill Ryan, dude. Left and right, dude. Hey, did you see what he did? He picked up Kai White for Bill Ryan from DB.
Dude.
Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
Big moves over there.
Kai White is racing for Supercross.
That's what they say.
I know, dude. I mean, imagine what's going on Bob Seger way over there in the mitten right now, JT.
I think, look, the only reason that deal happened is Chris Beer was behind the scenes brokering that deal with his windfall from his Bitcoin. Okay, it's the only way that happens.
Bitcoin.
That's the only way it happens.
Hey, you win a national at your home damn track on 4th of July weekend, and look what the guy does.
Right?
Epic shit.
Okay, Chris, you heard that. Bring Patterson back.
You give an F-bomb on YouTube during the Family Values Tour, and look at this guy. Just love it.
All you need is 1,000 subscribers, and Chris will drop an F-bomb.
That's it. That's all it takes.
Hey, Brian, you ever have vector bars?
Ooh, vector bars.
I don't remember having vector bars, but I did have a Saber plate.
How about the CW bars?
Yeah. CW bars, everybody has CW bars, but vector bars, it took a special kind of.
I did have some CW bars. I have a picture of me wheeling on graduation day on my cruiser with some CW bars.
Oh God!
Straight across.
Bars. I got a.
I was freestyling with CW bars.
Is this a vector bar? Is that
apparently?
Is this like the
yeah?
So this had the stem built right into it and welded on.
Oh yeah, and that's the better looking pair.
So
the ones that look like a damn antenna for your car or your house up and across. It's like what in the hell?
So you. Wait a minute.
A number of different versions.
You couldn't
of them.
move.
Yeah, that's what I remember is those ones.
These right here.
Right. They were
that's the vector.
There you go, right there. Those ones.
Those are vector bars.
Yeah, another one like vector bars too. But yeah, I got a buddy who's got 4 vectors. Well, he sold 2 of them, and 3 of them have those bars on them. Like,
they should have named that the vagina bar.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Right.
Exactly. That's where the district mom thong came from. Is those things right there.
But you can't.
You
the
put
neck,
that on
the handlebars,
right there,
the head
dude.
is all in one.
Dorito, little.
I remember those now.
Little autograph space. You're good, dude. That's right there, dude.
I mean, talk about not having any getting your bars out over your forks a little bit. Jesus, criminy.
I feel like the funny thing is I feel like Flatlanding has like come around full circle because like the Flatlanders ride stuff like this now, not exact, but like because they run the bars straight in line like that.
Basically 0 degree.
Oh,
how throw spins better.
1 inch 0 degree stems to come straight up. There's no out nothing.
Look at the
Jason Crouch is saying he rode power bins for a decade before the SM Slams took over.
The grip had a little.
Yeah, you can't run the new grips on the power light bars. That bend in them, the lock-ons.
Yeah, interesting. You just got to go old school, pull out the hairspray.
It took 40 years to
40.
Well, yeah, for the power light bars, how they came out, so basically made it where your bars were kind of straight across.
Oh, the little bend at the end of it.
Yeah, but it made them straight. It made them straight. So usually your hands were turned in. With those bars, your hands got straightened out. Well,
yes, I remember those.
Yeah, the flat iron bars basically just going straight across anyway. I think they got 2 degrees out back. I mean, but
it almost gave you a little more. What do they call it? It helped.
It helped out
a little more pull, a little more leverage.
Yeah, a little more leverage at the end where you thought you were pushing harder. Yes, it did.
Didn't Fly remake these things?
Yes, the Joey Bradford bars.
Yeah, but didn't Donnie Robinson have like a signature version or something?
He did, but they weren't
the power light.
Yeah, the power light, but they weren't flat. It was a reissue of the power light.
Okay,
I remember those.
Jesus, look at that!
Yeah,
how much those things.
But Bradford had the straight bars for pretty much, and then Tangent started making them. And
I got a set of the Bradfords. Actually, I got them on my park bike.
I just took a pair off of my cruiser Bradford bars.
It gave your hand a position to where you could lock it in a little bit different if you needed that different hand position to do whatever you had to do.
It's great for coming out. For me, it's a plus out of the gate.
Yeah.
It was the what?
different coming out of the gate, having those flat bars like that?
You think you were grabbing further up when you had to pull back harder? Yes.
Why aren't they? Is there a reason they're not doing this now?
Because
I told District Mom the same thing last week, and there, Tim. Thanks.
What?
Jesus Christ!
Got to reach up and pull back a little bit more.
Oh my God! Here we go.
Yeah,
I got to get on there more often.
The slam bars have been iconic ever since they came out. Yeah. Everybody has loved the slam bars. Probably one of the best bars ever made.
Been there, done that.
It didn't matter like what you had. You just go get some slam bars and ride those.
Yeah,
I would. Hey, in real talk, like I rode slam bars until I found those the Snafu race bars.
Right,
man. Look, I was dedicated. I always had slam bars, and then my buddy was like Walser Corey. Corey's like, you got to try these. Like, you're gonna love them, and like that flat part because they're a little flatter than the slam bars. I like them, and I don't even know if you can get them anymore. So, hopefully, because they're the Snafu race bars, man. They're solid.
Yeah, you can get through J&D Cycle out of Florida.
Yeah, I'll talk to you. I gotta order a new set. We got anything else, buds? Or we're gonna button it up tonight? We've been at it 2 hours.
I mean, heck, we
can make up shit. Don't ask me a question like that.
We got all kinds of stuff. You know,
what do you got? What do you got?
What about the mixed emotions going on over there at Haro after dumping the captain and his crew, and now they're looking for ambassadors?
Oh boy,
you know, now they got like Dennis Anderson and Chad Curley doing freaking mountain bike videos, and Chad was in Lycra and on a road bike today on his Instagram. I'm like, Chad, what are you doing?
Dude, Chad? Do that,
bro.
Lycra wearing Lycra.
Lycra, whatever you want to do. Licorice. It's just like,
I think Rick.
Like,
I think Rick's brain. Rick's brain booted.
Hey, I want to see a bar 3 Smith off that goddamn ledge right there with that damn freaking road bike you got there, dude. This is not you, dude. Don't stay away from the light.
Making a gravel bike where you can do backflips and shit on it. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
So, wait,
I was like, man, I don't know what the hell's going on over there.
Haro's got freestyle.
We talked about it a handful of times. I don't know, man.
Haro's got freestyle. Oh, no. They got freestyle guys talking or riding road bikes.
Road bike. Yeah.
Even Dennis Anderson from Unclicked over there.
There's some guy riding a road bike over dirt jumps.
No.
Yeah, I mean they've been really that. Like getting the big push to pump up the mountain bike side of Haro, and then I seen Chad Curley on his Instagram with the Lycra, and it's like, oof, bro. I don't know if I could look at you the same.
I feel like it's a ship without a captain right now. You like that?
Oh boy!
Did you get that on Tundra?
Wow! What?
There we go. There we go.
Yeah, here all week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I'll be here all week. Guys. It's a ship without a captain. But for
tip
real,
your bartender.
That is not like that is a hot mess over at Haro right now. Like, let's be honest. That is a. Hey, man,
it's kind of weird though.
Sneakers are doing fine.
Yeah, Hacksaw's in there. I mean, and you know, Jim would know.
He would,
because he's tight with Paris. Paris is over there. She rides for her, you know, and everything. It's like you kind of get like outside looking in. You know,
what the fuck are you doing?
If you're not like Hacksaw that like has the end
Chris.
Over there, you know, on that aspect, you know, if you're outside like us doing the show, like I mean, I'm sitting there like looking at what's going on, like,
wow,
good God, what the hell? What are you doing?
You won't say it, but you'll type it. What the hell's going on with Chris?
You know, and it's like, it kind of gives you like a mixed kind of bag of
what the hell?
What's really going on out there? You know what I mean? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I mean, a lot of other people don't know because I mean,
pushing them out by
I looked at a lot of the comments too. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, it's kind of weird.
I mean, you had Barry Nobles. How much more of a mountain biker do you need?
beers with the F-bomb for the night. He's just like, I just signed Kai White for Bill Ryan. I'm out. Later, bitches.
She just renewed her contract for 3 years with Haro.
Hey, good for Perry. Yeah. Shit, hell, good for her.
Yeah,
you know, somebody's re-signing the contract, but goddamn.
Yeah, but what's happening on the race side? Because that's the freestyle side.
Yeah, and that was that, and see, that's what's like the outside looking at us from a racing side. Like you already can Nick twice,
right?
Where it's just like that's kind of effed up, you know. And Nick's tight with freaking Chad and Dennis. They started off on his dad's Phantom on track team when they were BMX racing, you know. So it's just like it kind of gives you like that mixed feel of like.
Hell?
Shit, dude. You know, like kind of like they changed in owners. You know, John Bulgens did his documentary movie when he owned it and everything, which could be an extra on that, which was cool and fun as hell.
Right.
You know.
Did you just do a plug that you were
owner? You know, Joey Cobb's gone. You know, it's just like. And I don't know. You had the one guy on the show, like what, a year or 2 years ago, JT
James Harris.
Yeah.
No, we've had him on. We've had him on twice. I don't know if he's still there. But more importantly, did you just do a plug for yourself that you were in the Haro movie?
I heard it.
Did you, Brian? I think I heard it.
Did you pick up what I was putting down, son? Hey, Cardozo's not the only movie guy in the family.
You fucking pimping or what? I mean, come on now.
I mean, it's not often
when you're an extra.
Yeah,
he's on the extra.
It was cool.
He's in the credits.
Clear day too. It was cool.
Hey, Rick. Gate 9 wants to know if the lycra is a disease you get from too much tongue action in Porta Potty 6.
Oh, for sure, dude. Yeah. You got to stay away from the blue Smurf kiss.
So we do have a real relevant question here. Jason Crouch wants to know, Brian, if you've got any new flavors in the works for Danger Snacks.
I'm working on a Meyer lemon. I'm trying to come out with something tequila inspired.
I like that.
Okay, you know how the kids don't like them is because they say of the craziest peppers on them is listed on the vial of it. So if you keep the name of the peppers off of there, then they'll eat more of them.
Fuck, are you gonna start giving advice to fucking the guy that has a successful company?
What
the fuck is wrong with you?
The kids look at it and they read habanero,
and they know
what peppers they are.
Those kids are the same ones that go to Speedway and buy the fucking one chip challenge.
Yeah, well, those are idiots.
Look, you are hanging out with some soft ass kids, bro. Like I don't know where the fuck you're finding them.
I also have a Danger Dust that I'm working on.
Wait a minute.
What? A Danger Dust?
For micheladas and margaritas.
Is it a spice?
Powder?
Yeah, it's spicy. Yeah.
No. Is it a powder for cooking with, or what? Like,
I mean, you can use it for whatever you want, but like micheladas, margaritas, or it's good on ice cream, stuff like that. So I've got that going, and then I'm also working on a lollipop.
Ooh,
hey, there.
My ears are open.
Yeah, wait a minute. Yeah. Jason just says, you got my attention. I like this.
Make blue when it says
Danger Pop.
Dude, my buddy just chimed in. Kenny just said, tequila flavor. God bless you.
I'm in.
Jason Crouch is like lycra lime.
I'll take 12. Give me a
Jason.
case.
I love Crouch.
Yeah, the liquid pop.
So you've got the you said Danger Dust.
Yeah.
Fuck that sounds so wrong. Dude, I want that on a jersey.
Like a powder, like Kool-Aid?
Yeah, it's just it's actually a byproduct from the manufacturing process. When I'm making the candies, I yield all this extra powder, and it's still fucking delicious.
So you can add it to water and go with it?
So I'm spicing it a little bit differently, and adding some things to make it a little more friendly for making cocktails and whatnot. So, because candy, as soon as it hits moisture, it gets sticky. So it's been a little bit of a challenge to get the
Well, so does my girlfriend, but we don't bring her to the
Tim,
Nationals.
you ain't got no fucking girlfriend. Shut
All
the
three of
fuck up.
Dude, it's a family show. It's not 9 o'clock over here on the left coast.
You got the dust, and then you have you're talking about the lollipop, right?
Yeah.
Dude, you got ideas.
But the lollipop's got some pretty good innovations in it too, if you believe it or not. I can't really talk about it yet, but
okay.
Uh-oh.
Like the Fun Dip candy, Jason Crouch said.
No Fun Dips. Remember
The dipping stick.
Yep.
Bag of powder.
Fun Dips are great, dude.
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
a bit of a mind fuck, that lollipop.
The dipping stick. Yeah.
Of course, Cardoza wants to know, Dust, do you have to snort it? Jesus, this is what happens when you're in the movie E.T. and you just come out a rock star.
Hacksaw was like, I'll sprinkle that on the 99 girl's ass.
Oh, my God.
99 girl, we're looking for Jim.
You're going to find that in Porta Potty 6.
Oh, Jesus.
You got that right.
Your ass. There'll be a little dispensary in there.
And so, like, we got some things we're looking forward to here in 2025 out of the Danger Snacks camp.
Yeah, I'm pretty excited.
You got to keep it fresh, right? You got to change it up. Keep people, something new, something different.
Can I sprinkle that on my tires to go racing even faster than I ever have been before?
It's not going to help you, dude. It's not.
That's
I
not
race.
gonna help with that.
Yeah,
But,
I fucking
I
race
am-
with you.
I am in the process right now of making a limited edition double hot.
Oh,
So that's
shit.
pretty-
Double what?
Double hot.
Double hot.
Not
It's-
spelled H-O-T, I imagine.
It's going to be spicy. #AF.
Holy shitty.
Dude, like,
Double.
so
Double shitty.
is it
Are we
your,
going to have this in time for Frogtown there, Brian?
Yes.
is this are you going to take the
Let's
normal
go.
are you going to take the normal flavor, the regular flavor, and then double it? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah. Yeah. It's just a straight up double hot. So
Oh,
it'll have
Jesus,
double
dude.
the habanero and
No.
double the ghost pepper.
Yeah, no.
Well, I thought he was mentioning get rid of the habanero and just double up the ghost pepper.
Oh,
Well,
dude,
you know
the
what?
habanero one is freaking.
There's a product idea I've been working on for folks who aren't, that spice scares them, and it's called Wussy. So
Attaboy.
get that.
Fucking jalapenos will scare them off.
So
Hey, shit happens.
did I tell you about the kid down at Toledo that took the whole the whole vial here?
Yeah.
Took the whole tube?
Dude,
Which
yeah.
kid?
So it's Mike Mag's his future bride's nephew.
Oh, no.
So we're all down there. It was I think it was Halloween. We were down there for the Halloween race or something, and he couldn't race.
Who's bad?
Yeah, maybe, but he couldn't race. I think he like broke his ankle or some shit like that. And I'd taken some of the danger snacks that Bryan sent to us, and we put them in a bowl. Because, like, everyone else had regular candy, right? So, like, we put a bowl out full of danger snacks, but we'd, like, tagged and put a post up that, like, hey, we got danger snacks. And, Mike's talking about it. We're all talking about it. Like, and he goes, the kid's like, I'll try it. And I'm like, and it was the one time I'm like, let me get my camera. Like, because I always try to send Bryan videos, reaction videos, because I'm terrible at remembering. But I'm like, okay, let me get my phone, okay? And he just opened it and just chucked the whole thing in, right?
He shot that shit.
It was just like any reaction video you see.
Wow.
He had that like let's go 20 seconds, 30 seconds, and we're all watching him, like Melissa, myself, Mike's girlfriend, Laura and shit, we're all watching, and he is totally like struggle bussing to not show any weakness because he heard candy.
Get ready to grab his tongue.
Yeah, he heard candy and he's like, there's no way this dude just chucked the whole thing down. And
That's
man,
awesome.
he disappeared.
Jason Crouch is in the chat. He says, add water to danger dust and anally inject before semis, guaranteed top 3 spots.
Oh, you would no, you're going top podium.
I don't know if you're going top 3, but you're going straight off the first berm up into the upper bleachers.
Dude, it might be
You're full-blown peg, dude. You're on the wick.
That might be the fastest way to get to the finish line. So the kid he disappears, comes back, and
he shits himself.
No, he didn't. Like, I don't know, dude. Probably 10, 15 minutes had gone by. He comes back, still eyes watering, and we're like, how was it? He's like, yeah, it wasn't that bad. We're like, bullshit, dude. Anyone else, like I tell him, like, take one. Start with one little
I've done
part.
2.
Yeah, that's it, bro. And like, dude, we were hanging out. Rick and I were hanging out at staging at Waterford. We're like, hey, man, you don't want to drag ass? Try one of these bad boys. And like, we're just passing them bitches. We're passing them bitches off, watching people in staging, like, doing this. I was like, hey, it'll clear you right out, man. You're going to breathe good. You're going to race good. You're fine.
Brian, one quick question for you. Exactly. Do they work better when you swallow them, or do they work better if you chew them up and flavor the savor? The savor
really
of the flavor.
Depends on what your sexual preference is.
You had to bring that into it.
Hey.
That button.
Hey, he's now a mixed show veteran with that one.
Exactly.
You know what? It's whatever you want to do is good. I
flavor the savor, dude. That's my ultimate commuting candy with my coffee.
Oh, that's the best part about it is they wake your ass up. I crunch them myself just because I don't have any fucking patience.
I've chewed up a couple of them, and then I've swallowed a couple of them, and I've kind of noted the end result was almost the same, but between the two, I'm like, well, the end result I didn't get to them either way, but I got the same way. But whether I chewed them up or I flavored them or I swallowed them, I still got the end result I was looking for.
Well, that's all that matters, right?
I guess so.
Yeah, well, it's because it's still going in your system, the capsaicin,
exactly,
which triggers an endorphin release. So, they're not for everyone, but they're certainly not practical joke hot. I designed them small because they're aggressive.
Oh,
like this show.
Jason's got a point.
No, they're perfect. I mean, dude, it's like a Tic Tac, and it's just like sits there, wakes you up. You
the 1.5 calorie.
You're good to go.
When I'm making candy and the batch messes up, I end up with a brick of it, like it's huge, and so I'll literally hit it with a hammer and break it into massive chunks. And I have customers who are just like, "Dude, can I get some more of those chunks?" And they're like silver dollar size, and they love them.
Are they coming out with like spoons and shit and syringes? They're just like,
well, those are Breaking Bad style.
You gotta melt down this goddamn danger brick, dog. It's like, come on, homie.
Well, Jason just said, he said, tuck them in your cheek. And I've actually done that, like walking into staging. Like I've tossed them in and like put them in kind of like I used to chew when I was younger, but like I tuck it down in my cheek and like, holy shit, dude.
Burn your damn cheek apart.
It's not that. It'll clear your fucking sinuses out, man.
Oh.
Dude, and you're
it's
like
everything.
The night race,
really?
the glow. Remember the race?
Yes,
the race at Can-Am.
Yes.
When we had the glow sticks and the fucking lights we put on our bikes. That night, I was like packing it in, and like, man, it would clear everything out, and because it was kind of chilly, and it was like that shit cleared you right out, man. You were breathing just fine.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Yeah. Well, hey man, we appreciate what you're doing, man. We appreciate you're always supporting everything, and
hey, I love it. It's good times.
Wait,
good times up there in the booth at Frogtown too with Brian.
Dude, when you're short on time, you don't have the coffee, you don't have the 5-hour energy, and you're fortunate enough that Brian supports your podcast show, and you just reach down in your glove box of your car, and there's like 5 of them rolling around, tubes. That's how you wake up in the morning, right there.
That's what's up.
My tongue is on fire right now. Yeah, I just took one.
Yeah, that's what you do right there. Nope. Well, I'm good, dude. No, we're good.
Dude, this fucking shit's hot.
Yeah. And hey, Tim,
I'm rubbing it on my tongue. It's
Tim,
like burning.
From the great advice of the guy that got me hired where I work right now, it's not gay if you pay for it. It's just a fetish.
Exactly. Hey, $20.
I gave you pushback, man.
$20 is $20, Tim. Don't worry.
Yeah. Did you just say it's not gay if you don't push back or if you push back?
It's only gay if you push back.
Jesus Christ.
Okay.
And don't flint.
All right,
Brian.
ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in this evening. This is Gay Talk by the Mixed Open Show.
Hey, we said there are no rules on the Mixed Open Show.
Okay, so Brian, I believe we asked you a question earlier. what kind of flavors are you coming up with out of these instead of the whatever these non-flavored
that's the original.
ones are?
No, that's the
original flavor.
And then we had the vanilla one.
Dude, I'm
I
on
have
fire
the vanilla
right now.
sea salt.
Yep.
I have blood orange sours right now, and I'm working on a Meyer lemon. And I'm trying to
Gotta do lime.
I'm trying to integrate something tequila going on because that's my jam is tequila,
There we go.
like an agave or something. But we'll see. I'm just trying to get the flavor right.
What's that process? What is that? What does that process look like for you? Like when you go through trying to try different flavors, because you've got a great video. Just so you guys,
I volunteer.
Well, you got a great video on YouTube of you making the danger snacks. So like you guys can see it if you want. Go look at it.
Does he?
When he was on the show, we actually rolled. The
Send
video.
them to me. I'll video.
But it shows how
getting caught on fire.
It shows how he like pours it out and makes it and things like that. But like the process of the flavoring, what does that look like?
So when you boil sugar, it's 310-ish degrees, and so you have to wait for it to cool down enough to be able to handle it with special food grade gloves so you don't burn yourself. And so you put it on what's called a cooling table, and that brings the temperature down so you can now knead it like dough. And then you transfer it over to now a warming table because candy gets hard over time as it cools.
I've seen that.
The warming table keeps it malleable so that you can then cut it into pieces and feed it through the drop candy roller. And that comes out in big sheets of those little pieces, and you literally pick up the sheets and drop it, and they just shatter like glass.
So what do you mean the candy roller?
So a drop candy roller that's where the term cough drops and lemon drops came from.
Oh, okay.
It's because they used to come out in big sheets of candy stuck together with this very thin layer of sugar called flashing.
That's where you add the flavor?
Well, when you add the flavor, that's done on the cooling table. So as the boiling sugar, you have to bring it down to under 200 degrees before you add the flavor.
The kind of a syrup. You add a syrup to it and it adds the flavor.
And you can add syrup or you can add powder as well.
Of flavor,
and
yes. Okay.
Mix it all in, and then you knead it like bread, and all that flavor goes on around. That's where I add the Celtic sea salt, my favorite sea salt that I add to it. And
you do the Celtic sea salt? I've just learned about it in the past 6 months. That is amazing stuff.
Oh yeah, it's truly the best mineral rich salt you can get. The light gray specifically, but all their salt products.
That is the one I have.
Yeah, that's really good for you. It's a great electrolyte. I love it.
You can make your own
Bryan,
Gatorade.
Where's that video at?
So that's at the URL is tinyurl.com.
Okay.
/the announcer, all one word. tinyurl.com /
Jason Crouch wants one that tastes like an old fashioned.
That would be delicious.
Seifert wants an old fashioned one too. Okay, here we go.
I want a cinnamon one.
Union is fired up.
Bryan, you said tinyurl.com. I'm sorry.
tinyurl.com / the announcer.
Thank you.
All one word.
The announcer.
And it's a documentary about my mom, but we told the story in the commercial kitchen where I make danger snacks.
That a boy.
Did David Cassell do this?
Yeah, that's it. That's the filmmaker, David Cassell.
Okay, so I'm gonna take the link and I'm gonna share it in the chat because I want literally everyone to go watch this because like there's some awesome knowledge on your mom, but then like showing what you like the process that you do for the candy. It's a really good watch. And
there are a lot of people online like tuning in too. Like chat room is busy.
Yeah. So
how many people we got in there?
Yeah, enough.
Plenty.
So here's some.
Plenty to pay the bills, Tim.
This is kind of going through
paying the bill.
Skimming through real quick because I want people to go watch this. But like,
is that the powder?
Here's some of the I was speaking to of him. This is where the audio. The only reason I'm not playing the audio is I don't know if we'll get dinged on the audio. So it talks about his mom, Linda, and then it comes back.
Oh my gosh, she was my favorite announcer.
It comes back. They do a great job of like the contrasting between like his mom and what he does with the candy and making it. So like really everybody go watch that. I just shared the link here, and I'll put the link in our up on our Facebook page too, and Instagram, all that shit, so you guys can watch this because it's a really, really good video. Whoever was it the Bill guy that made the thing?
It was Dave Castell is the
Dave.
filmmaker.
Sorry, yeah, he did.
We were going to do a documentary on Danger Snacks, and the Grands was playing. There's a scene in the video where Jesse Welch is winning his semi or whatever it is, playing on my phone in the kitchen because the Grands was actually happening live while we were filming this. And I was telling him about my mom, and he goes, dude, I think I want to do this about your mom. And I was like, hell yeah, let's do it about my mom. And he said, but I still want to do it here in the kitchen. It just turned out beautiful.
Let's see if we could.
When my mom first got the news that she had colon cancer, she was pretty shocked. We were both pretty shocked. She had symptoms that were showing up prior, but she wasn't one to succumb. She was a survivor.
Roll a bit of this for a second, all right, Brian?
I never really thought about my mom's mortality. She was such a strong figure, not just in my life, but also in the minds of all those BMX racers out there whose passion she'd provided the soundtrack to for so many years.
Yeah, again, I got the link in there. Make sure you guys go watch this, man.
Wow, look at that.
And if you don't want to go watch it here,
that's awesome.
When we had Brian on our show,
looks like peanut brittle.
Yeah, learning the process when he was on the All Things show, like super fun because you did a thing with us. We showed the video.
Can I have that tub right there?
And we showed the video, and you like walked us through kind of like the behind the scenes with it, like you were just doing, and how like all this part. So like good stuff.
What is that white powder?
It's a secret.
Yeah, don't. Yeah, funny story. I remember that from our when you were on the show. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you for posting that. That's a sentimental link for me for sure.
Yeah. Well, that was that one right there. Like when you sent that to me, we watched it. Like for sure, that's it's a great watch. Anyone that's done the NBL stuff, like you walk right down memory lane. Like you'll.
I remember going to
exactly. This is
what. Oh my God! I remember her voice calling me out, and when I was a rookie,
yep,
I'm like, holy shit, I'm getting called out. I'm in the middle of a race, I'm going, oh my God, there's a finish line, I got to keep going. But I heard my name from her voice.
And everyone's got this story, and like that's the best part. Yeah, this was
wow.
Definitely watch it. It goes through like the entire packaging, the wrapping, and everything. Go watch this, man. Let me take that. I'm gonna go over here and link this in. Yeah. We got anything else, Rick? What do we got?
We got like a handful of things. You know, I mean, anybody that follows the beer page, you know, we're kind of big on we're real big on the BMX side, and we do freestyle, we do mountain bike, that and the other. Former BMXer, they call him the GOAT, Aaron Gwynn, debuted 2 days ago that he's bringing Red Bull to Windrock, Tennessee for their downhill series. So now that's kind of like throwing a big twist because, you know, a lot of BMXers love to go mountain biking, and you see a lot of top names that are in the pro ranks of mountain bike. They have a big BMX background. We go and rewind to last year with Clay Harper bringing in Monster for the Monster Downhill Series. So now you got Monster and Red Bull wrapping up a whole lot of mountain bike. So kind of curious to see what BMXers are going to kind of go that way. You know, they're looking to make a big impression here in the States where you don't have to go overseas like freestyle, you know, and make a living as a pro downhill mountain biker and make it happen. They got a couple good race series schedules right now. So I mean, shit, did you bring a Red Bull and Monster into the US and bolt in on mountain bike? Like, what are we missing on the racing side, man?
Oh, I mean, we're missing Monster. We're missing the companies and the yeah, that's what we're missing. the money. That's what we're missing.
And they're single-handedly. Clay Harper, he's his own deal. Same thing with Aaron Gwynn. And then looking at like as an organization wise we'll throw it out there. Okay, USA BMX for the pro racers, and let's throw it out there too because they got the freestyle stuff kind of wrapped up here in the States too. How come we don't got like a big there isn't a big title sponsor for that? Because like we talked about earlier in the show before we had Wi-Fi problems, was that Freestyle Park, they all got to go overseas.
Big time.
So
you got
the mountain bike guys which are former BMXers, know the drill. They have it figured out, the system, and they're just going out there, bing, boom, 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 and like making shit happen. Kind of like the flat pedal series. We've been kind of like behind the wraps of the flat pedal series, 46 and over, cheap shot, 4 tracks, and working behind the closed doors with that. There's something missing.
It takes people.
Something missing in the
right. Someone's got to sponsor stuff.
I think that's the big thing is you can have the series. You got to have the big sponsor behind it that's going to give it the push. And like the series you're talking about, like you've got the big sponsors behind it that are going to put the money behind it and get it on the TV. Or at least, let's say media.
Right. It's hard to get those big sponsors anymore for BMX.
Oh, yeah.
Especially for racing.
Yeah.
Well, we've had them in the past. God, we've had them. We got some great sponsors.
Yeah.
It just hasn't worked out. I'm not really sure where the fault lies in that, but it falls on somebody. I just don't know who.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was a big one. And then we've had over here on the hey, get ready, drink. Everybody drink.
Motherfucker.
Justin.
You motherfucker.
Because we're going to the West Coast.
He's fucking West Coast. Fucking, oh, God. If you guys were around.
If anybody knows and follows the shows, they know what. Did you take your shot? Oh, you did. Okay, go. So we got a little like we got say what? We got a little kind of altercation. What would we call it?
A dispute.
Yeah, a big dispute. So tomorrow we're kicking off the first state series race for California over in Bakersfield, which is 3 hours south from us. I'll be out there tomorrow, me and Roy Ball. Everybody goes and says, okay, well, Baco is like the cutoff. It should be NorCal, SoCal. There's a big talk and a big
uprising and what diligence or vigilante kind of shit. Like,
there's a lot of people that are pissed off.
Yeah.
Of how Bakersfield now is considered NorCal. Well, I never knew it changed. I always knew Bakersfield as still being NorCal. With our new state series point system, we can't go and jump states. Okay, so that was a big talk and no holds.
Yeah, they need to make some changes.
Oh, for sure.
With you got a handful of states that they can go and double dip and do this, do that. California, we can't double dip. Right. We can't go into other states. We can't even dip into SoCal. And SoCal can't dip into NorCal.
Over here in Waterford, we got 3 states we can access.
Yeah. I mean, I get it. You don't have as many tracks as we do, so it kind of makes sense to a point.
Yeah, but we can't.
We're still in California. Well, we can't go to SoCal and get a state qualifier. It's beyond.
And we go in and we've been talking about the Florida State Series for a handful of years on how their program is, and they got 16 tracks and they narrow it down to 8.
They're half the size of California.
Plus.
Shit, they're in like the 200s.
Well, yeah, but the last one was 180 something.
And everything. So we kind of got like a big dispute going on over here in California right now, which has been a pretty big talk on a lot of.
You're one state, keep it that way.
In separate pages, and because of just doing it for so long, and not realizing how many tracks we've actually lost in the past 10 years.
Oh boy.
Like NorCal, we were always kind of up by like maybe like 4 or 5. Okay. So now with the way it is for this year, being split into 2, North has 13 state races, South has 6. Okay. Bakersfield's the cut. Okay. Bakersfield isn't the middle of California. No. Chowchilla, like right before Fresno, is technically
it's after Fresno, but there's a palm tree somewhere in the middle on 99 that cuts it off.
Chowchilla before Fresno. Chowchilla on 99.
Okay.
The palm tree and the redwood tree. Yeah. And so there's a big dispute ongoing on what is north, what is south, and trying to make it even. Okay. So as it stands now, and with the tracks that are lost, and a lot of people that are still tuning in are going to be mesmerized on how many tracks we've actually lost. And this is actually in probably like the past 8 years of tracks we've lost. Okay. So we have 13 north, 6 south. Okay.
Shouldn't it be equal?
And that's what a lot of people are fighting for.
Okay.
Okay. But supposedly there was like 8 numbers. What the fuck you call it?
It's how far they travel.
There was an audit. Supposedly there was an audit on like rider count. Okay. They didn't go by the tracks. They went by like rider count.
Yeah, that's what they did over here with us.
Even though NorCal has more tracks, the rider count is still the same.
Wow.
Supposedly. Okay.
Got more in the southern.
And so, okay, did a little quick homework before coming over here to the studios. And you know, Bryan, you're a California local. We got 13 to the north and 6 to the south, with Bakersfield Metro being the cut. Okay.
Right in the middle.
Tracks we've lost at Water BMX. We had 2 tracks in Bakersfield. Lost the Baco number 2. Lost Tulare. Lost Red Bluff. Lost Santa Clara Powell. Those were all considered NorCal.
Lost Visalia as well.
Oh, Visalia too. Okay. Hey, good. You know what? I knew I had you on the show for a reason.
Lost Stockton.
No, I'm past 8 years. That was way before.
Yeah, I was.
Okay. Give me a minute, dude. I'm trying to crunch some fucking numbers. I'm trying to be smart here.
Okay. No, that's how old we are.
Exactly. Right, Timmy? Shit. And then we got Orange Y, which Orange Y was like the most legendary SoCal track ever. Between any other SoCal track, we lost Orange Y. What, 3-4 years ago? When was that?
4.
Goddamn, it was like Stromberg's, Willers. That was the home track. That was the home track of home tracks for the fucking pros.
Yes, it was.
Before the big Florida movement.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Absolutely. Yeah.
Unless they were
from the late 70s, early 80s, it's always been
unless they were at the training center down in Chula.
Yeah,
right.
Before that, Orange Y was. You talked to Hollywood, and that's where all the pros went every freaking week. They were at Orange Y racing.
Yeah. Stefer's like, is Tulare really a loss? Bro, all 25 rollers on that goddamn the long goddamn rhythm section you ever fucking have in your life.
Anyway, carry on.
Orange Y, Sycamore, Simi Valley, Lancaster, Chula, Santa Maria.
Orange Show, Ontario.
Oh, Ontario. That's that one. My bad.
Orange Show was a big national. Every year we had a national there. Matter of fact, that's where we used to have the NorCal SoCal Cup.
Orange Show.
Yeah, we've lost a shitload of tracks, especially in Southern California.
So if you were to go and bring those back, we would have, if they were still here, North would be, we'd have 18 in NorCal.
But less riders,
South
but more tracks.
14.
Yeah, it'd be tied.
Yeah.
Same on tracks.
Yeah, and it's crazy because, you know, I mean, we talk about it here and there for the past, I mean, we're coming up on 5 years. And you know what? Hey, Justin, cheers on 5 years for you and super producer Melissa and Chris over there at ATB. And then, like, this came across today, earlier, and I'm like, come to realization on like, the tracks we've lost. It was like, holy crap. You know, Bryan, what do you got, Bryan? Because you're a California native. Pretty freaking wild on all the tracks we've lost. We've lost more tracks than some states even have.
Oh, way more than a lot of states have.
I mean, god dang.
By far.
Pretty crazy. You know what I mean?
Michigan's holding their own.
But it's so fucked up what insurance companies and developers, like, they don't realize that BMX keeps kids out of trouble. They give them a laser, and it's just incredible to watch people not be able to understand. Really messing with the youth and kind of forcing kids to go out and get in trouble by closing these tracks for dumb reasons. It just happened with LA County Raceway and Motocross and Lake Elsinore Motorsports Park gone, and it's nuts.
Oh yeah, Elsinore, that's right.
And it's crazy too. I go to other places and we really don't have good tracks in SoCal. Certainly there's certain tracks that are the best of the tracks that we have. Tracks like Grand Prix and Bellflower, they're amazing. And San Diego, obviously Tyler's done a killer job. I still have yet to go out and ride that track. I really want to, but
oh my god, it's so epic over there what Tyler has done over there in San Diego.
Yeah. But you go to other places, like when I was in Colombia racing the Worlds in Medellin, dude, they had 8-meter tracks in the middle of the city that you could rent for $5 for 2 hours and train on these epic tracks that were 10 times better. The restrooms were nicer than the restrooms in my house at these facilities, just in the middle of the city. And it's all about people not supporting the sport. So I don't know how to fix that. I mean, Dwayne Taylor's probably
money
on it. Well,
Oh yeah, we lost Chico too.
So yeah, you need money, but in order for it to be worth it to the sponsors, the series has to make people feel better than they feel right now. It's not about more races, and it's not about, more motor count. It's about creating. I mean, look at what Red Bull's done. I mean, they create a feeling, no matter what the event is, but it's always got good variety. It's
right.
Crazy. It's fun.
People want to watch it.
You know what I mean? And
when I win the lottery,
you're not doing shit.
It's just
it's crazy. I mean,
easier said than done. Certainly, I couldn't. You know what I mean? I'm not doing what USA BMX is doing, so I'm just sort of quoting where my 2 cents lie.
Right. I mean, most of these seasons today are taking away everything for kids. In Manteca, where we live, there used to be a Oakwood water park all summer long. Mm-hmm. We had roller rinks. We had trampoline places. We had all kinds of shit. And now there's absolutely fucking nothing for these kids to do. If you don't race, you're out riding one of these 29ers around town, right in front of a car, doing wheelies, pissing people off.
That's like the mentality where it was like, oh, dude, the rideouts are great. They're this, they're that. Like, no, the rideouts are not that great, dude. Like, no. I don't care.
If you're in a ride group of people when you're out on those rideouts, it's fine. Have a good time. But all the jerks that want to do wheelies in front of cars and shit when they're oncoming traffic, that don't make it fun for me. I did too. I won't do anymore because they put us in a bad spot as BMXers.
You got to put it on Saturday morning cartoons.
A ride out?
Anything with a bicycle. Spikes. Put it on Saturday morning cartoons when the kids are watching
big wheel
TV.
Bike ride outs
are huge.
They're huge out here for some godforsaken reason.
Exactly.
I mean, there's a couple thousand riders for these things, and they take up the whole street and they fuck up traffic, and you know what? That's fine. They're riding a bike. That's great, but there's a certain amount of those people that go out to those ride outs that are jerk offs. They do shit that are not doing it the right way, and
they just ruin it for everybody else.
Basically,
there is a certain number of them. Yes.
Yeah.
Not all of them, and not all of them. Some of them are really great people. We're friends with a lot of them.
Yeah.
But
that's why we got percentages.
It only takes one in every group to make you all look like assholes. So I don't know.
And they'll see the assholes more than they will the good people.
Yeah, we don't even have batting cages at the bowling alley anymore. They took those out because all the gangbangers were hanging out over there and causing trouble.
Wow.
Yeah, it's definitely tough. I mean, like I'm truly blessed. I got a handful of parents that I get to go and coach their kids 4 days a week at the track, and keep them on the straight and narrow, and doing good, and especially like when we went to Grands 2 months ago, and got to fill their cup, and the parents were so proud, and it was like, dude, I got
five of our kids went. Five kids made the main.
Yeah, and got to see the look on their faces and everything, and it was like, dude, okay, cool. You know what? I'm doing good. I don't go out to my fucking horn, but you know what?
What's
keep
that,
the
Bryan?
kids out there and getting more kids out there to coach and learn the ways of the track and get the BMX etiquette,
right?
Because there is etiquette, because there's a lot that don't have that etiquette.
No,
I mean, you look at the skate parks, like I shared it earlier today on my Instagram of like skate park shit gone bad, where it's just like you got the parents that just like they let the kids go run random. And it's just like they're not paying attention to the other dude that's getting ready to do a beeline and just goes and fillets the kid. Yep. And I'm like, it's the big kid's fault. No, he was on a run. You got to pay attention. Right. You can't just let your kid go out there and run amok in the middle of the fucking skate park.
It's right what you want, but you have to pay attention to what's going on around you because you will get filleted. Everybody knows that, except for the new parent.
So bring them back to the schools, the elementary schools, where the younger kids see that, just like baseball and football and soccer and whatnot, and bring that back to the younger kids so they grow up on it.
There was like a movement I remember happening, and it started out like California area where like schools were building skate parks with arc ramp, and I think maybe you and I talked about this, Bryan, like how that would help overall bike riders, right, at a point, because they would be accustomed to this. But like, I remember seeing that, and that was actually how I stumbled on ARC and helped like a neighboring community end up with a skate park, was that their prefab ramps. It's American Ramp Company. That's their abbreviation for it, and like they started putting them in schools. I don't know if they were junior highs or elementaries or high schools, but like I thought to myself, like, how wild would that be, like if we were younger and you would be like, oh, are we going to go outside, play kickball, basketball, swing on the swing sets, or go over here to our skate park? Like, well, shit. Yeah. You imagine how many more kids you'd
have them down here, which is mostly like little skate parks. Sorry, Carmela. But that would be epic, for sure.
It would be.
Well,
you got to get them in early.
Yeah,
keep them in. You really do.
Yeah,
but a skate park in every elementary school.
Well, I remember going to Denver for a national years ago. Ritz was still a builder. It was still NBL. And we got out there, and Ritzy's like, you guys looking for something to ride? We're like, yeah, because we were waiting for him to finish building the track. And he's like, dude, here. And God, I mean, this had to be well over 15 years ago. And we literally went to a school that had a legit park. We went across, and I just remember the surrounding Denver area having so many parks to ride. And it was, this was before the pump track boom. But like, damn, like that was, I remember thinking that's what the sport, like as a whole, whether it's freestyle or racing, like that's where it needs to be, is accessible in all corners of a community, not just like a track way over here in a bigger town and then the skate park here, but like little spots all over you could ride.
Well, look at that. That's doing it. It's freaking Dale Holmes, man. He just got done, I think, like last week at the YMCA, working with kids on bikes. Like, it's Dale, bro. This is Dale, son.
He's all right for a white guy.
You don't see anybody like Dale out there just doing his thing, doing a summer camp, and then he does a summer camp for like 3-4 weeks through the summer, and then next thing you know, he's at the YMCA promoting riding bikes.
Dale's all about bicycles.
Dale, Dale's great, dude.
He's legit.
Yeah, he is. He's one of the true ambassadors of the sport.
Just a pioneer, dude.
Yes. He gets it.
And the boy can ride.
Yes. Oh yeah, we see him at Frogtown and Dirty Fest every year.
He's got a hell of a podcast too. Chad.
Yeah, he's all right.
He's got that too. He has that.
Here's a good question for you. I got a question for you.
He's a legit guy and doing the things the right way and trying to help our kids. And someone's got to do it because a lot of people aren't.
More stuff like that. Make it less confusing. A lot of the rules and everything are just wingnut.
Oh God, you're sorry.
Yeah.
Bryan, I'd like to get with you after we're done here. Get you booked on a show if that's cool.
Hooked on phonics? What?
Yeah, we're gonna get hooked on phonics real quick. I want to thank you guys for joining us. This computer is literally on its last leg, you guys. I hate to cut this short.
Dude, everything's fine. Like my shit is hot.
I don't know what's going on, dude.
I don't know what the hell's going on.
As soon as I click here,
the good world. Hey, is Trump gonna be in office before we get district points or what? Hey, cheap pop. Let's go.
Hey, what plate does Trump run?
He's going to run 47. I want to thank everyone for joining this evening before the static kicks back in. You guys were great. It was a fun time. Really appreciate it. Bryan, thank you so much for joining and hanging out with us on the
Thanks, Bryan.
Promise next time we won't have the static issue.
We're gonna do we're gonna come out swinging for sure, baby.
Yeah.
Hey, thanks, Bryan.
You guys.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
Hang out just for a second. Everyone, you guys, as before we sign off, Rick, what coast is it that you got to take a shot for?
Left coast, baby.
Yeah, there we are. The left coast.